this lane.
Yeah.
Blink to this lane, take advantage of the ags.
Mm-hmm.
So you slam the disciple here. Right? You need to take the tower here.
Yeah, assassins isn't enough, but this makes your board very vulnerable. But can Dane truly punish?
Ooh.
Okay, he
He
just
just
waits.
passes.
He just waits.
Interesting. I think he's thinking I might need to use these creeps to block on the middle lane.
Yeah.
Oops, sucker punches here.
Unable to use the creeps now. And no cards that he's able to play.
It's looking really rough.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Got another 4 from the broadsword.
It's 3 off. And it's going to be really hard to defend against that. Even if you have your Zeus up and 2 Thunder Gods. These are some healthy heroes.
This rend armor just getting 0 value. All of those things.
All right,
Yeah.
so Vic needs 3 Thunder Gods. All right, 1 from the first lane, 2 from the middle lane, and
He needs to draw another one.
yeah, he needs to draw another one. He needs a lot of stuff right now.
Well, I think he can get. Well, 2 would be nice because if he lands in front of this, it kills.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Dana has also has
No
11
AoE.
gold. You can pick up something to maybe save some heroes out of that Thunder God's range.
Yeah, he's full in on this game plan.
Look at this tide. Oh, okay, I thought it was still going.
And this is kind of why I suggested that you go for the tower kill last turn, because it gives you the possibility to go for a full 80.
Well, I don't think he would have been able to get the full 80 there. And you
Yeah.
reveal 1, and then maybe he puts the farm in here. But now he does have a potential for a full 80 next turn. He could just double deploy here, and we see Dane doesn't have any deployment.
Right.
So it's the
Mhm.
perfect turn to go for it.
If he survives.
Yeah, if
which
he
is-
survives.
yeah.
Which
It's,
is looking impossible.
Yeah. What can you do here?
So
If
he
you-
Zeus ults, he clears he clears these 2. He lands his Zeus in front of the Enchantress,
Mhm.
and then he primal roars.
Yeah, the perfect storm.
It's such an awkward turn because you can't cast both Foresight and Thunder God. You only have 10 mana, so.
So he has to do it with what's in hand, basically.
Yeah. 3 health.
Okay, it lands in front of this event,
doesn't-
but Dane's
There's
good
so
enough
much
to heal
damage, yeah.
There's-
either of these.
Can Foresight and maybe Hope? I don't know. Is there any? Does he have another dimensional portal or something?
No, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
This is the best card, probably, is the Spring the Trap, which costs 7 as
Yeah.
well. Super awkward on the 10 mana.
Well, he can refresh, but he has to be really lucky.
Yeah.
And that's assuming Dane has no cards, which there is a potion putting him out of range.
So Dane's spotting that potential 5 damage.
Oh, look what!
Hey, look,
that
it's
was gonna be
track.
double track.
Wait, can you do something with New Order and then Primal Roar?
So you point it here.
And then roar
Ah.
green away? I don't think so.
No, it's still
No
too
arrows
much.
here,
No.
so everything's just going through.
Everything is lethal.
It's too bad. Can't have those black heroes in here to block some of that damage. With 3 creeps in hand. And that's going to be the game 2.
Okay, so 1-1.
1-1.
Close series.
I was about to ask what the score was because the last
Yeah.
game was so long.
Yeah, I've forgotten. It's all
Yeah.
a blur. But yeah.
So what did you say was the big difference this game compared to the previous game? Why did Vic have so much trouble?
He wasn't able to cast those Thunder Gods
Okay.
when he wanted to.
I think Mist was also a big factor.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that lane, like scaring him away with the burning oil early, was just abandoned, and there was pretty much nothing that could be done.
Okay.
And Vic was going for that bigger Thunder Gods the next turn, but he
Mhm.
kind of paid the price for it
Sure.
because
Yeah.
Dane grabbed duel.
Yep. And then he was always able to heal those heroes back up and never really make that Thunder God's Wrath look that good.
It looks
Alright.
like they have started.
Yeah,
Oh,
game
nice.
3 is up.
Straight to it.
Okay, so hopefully Space Loner draws his tracks early and is Nevermore's late this time. Not the other
Also-
way around.
These bounty hunters
Missed
are
the
Yeah.
flip.
faulty.
This is huge. This is actually a huge
Yeah,
flip.
because you get a trade and a track kill.
We've seen the other times the bounty doesn't win the flip, but he doesn't die to like Enchantress, so he gets the kill next turn. But here he just straight up loses.
Yeah.
Pre-tracks it. Don't mind this.
I just want to say how big this RNG 50-50 is. Had he got the killed, he would be at 15 gold, and he will be able to double it up to 30 gold on turn 1. And it just makes the world, like a huge world of difference, just on that 50-50.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't quite have the
really
good
missed.
snowball-y items, though.
yeah, I feel like that's the one weak part of Vic's deck. It's just the item deck looks a little suspect.
Like, say you pick up a Stonehall Cloak early, then your hero's, like, basically invincible to Zeus all game.
Right.
Or duel, I should say.
Can he actually get the kill on Legion?
No, he actually has he has very few blue cards. It's just the Thunder Gods,
Mm-hmm.
the Dimensional Foresights.
Would you put the Zeus there just to get the track kill? Because you know you're doubling it.
That is interesting, but whenever your opponent gets a kill, you have to admit,
They have 5 gold. Yeah, you're just scared.
they always go for it. They have 2 shots at a health item because the item deck is going to have
Traveler's Cloak.
always going to have like 3 Traveler's Cloaks
Yeah.
essentially, and then on the right you have 2 chances at either a small potion, a big potion, or even a town portal scroll.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for it.
I like it.
The
Big
Zeus
plays from Vic.
Looks like Dane didn't pick up an item too, so
Oh, he missed.
okay. He's doing the 1 damage. He's getting there.
And was there a potion?
Yeah, it doesn't. I think
No,
we would have
yeah,
seen by now.
Yeah, he's...
Your armor won't save you, Tresden.
This is looking already like a very tough spot for Space Loner. Because
Yeah.
he's got a bunch of black cards that, honestly, there's no good place for him to cast.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Burning
burning
oil.
oil comes out.
Now, in other games, when you draw your expensive stuff early, it hurts. But these are some power cards, and we started on 3 mana. So these are like drawing a 4-drop in other games. So it's like not that far away, and they
Yeah.
do a lot.
Also allows you to kind of craft the way that you want to play your game to the late game.
Yeah. So you start stalling, and
Yeah.
Space Loner just throwing out these tracks. He has 6 of them.
yeah.
And can only cast them where bounty is anyway.
This is a pretty good spot to play the Legionnaire, but you're stunned, so never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, this is looking real tough for Space Loner here, especially with the Mist of Avernus on that mid lane. Just going off every turn.
Yeah, Dane's not doing that much either, but his heroes are just a little bit more efficient.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, he's got a turn 2 miss, so I would say he's doing great.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Miss of Avernus, again, just
Yep.
for the people new to the game, it's gives your lane +1 attack permanently to everything. So a lot of these games is about how much resource you commit into a lane before taking it. This is you commit 1 card and you just win the lane, so it's a pretty good card.
Yep. And you see Dane also putting the Tidehunter there so that he can also get that +1 attack once it reaches that lane.
Yep, Tidehunter's going to get huge. It's always interesting, too, if you have to fight for the mist lane as the opponent, because then
Yeah.
you're fighting these unfair battles where their creeps are getting buffed.
Mhm.
But if you don't, then the board gets wider and they get more benefit from the mists.
Value duel
That
onto
is-
the bounty, I
That's
guess.
Wow.
super interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
So-
he's tracked.
Yeah, Dane
Mhm.
knows he's feeding gold there, but maybe he just wants out of this lane.
Yep.
All right. Double it up.
Mm.
Stack it up.
17 gold.
Yeah, it's not like these cards are doing anything here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only reason to save it is if you want a bigger payday later.
I feel like Vic's deck needs some sort of spike in power level,
Yeah.
and finding
Mhm.
something good in the side shop is
That's like the main hope.
yeah.
We always have the golden ticket.
Golden ticket's missing so far. Let's see if he's gonna be able to hit this time.
Jeez, is that his whole item deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing
14,
really
21.
too big to turn the
You could
tides. It's
buy
just the
all
2
these 4.
blinks. Yep.
Also, Dane has the opportunity to play the Red Mist Pillager, with so much mana spent now on Space Donor.
Yeah,
You can
so this.
safely play
Okay.
it. Okay.
I was gonna say it already ramps fast enough, and then you throw in the mists. Oh my!
It's gonna be
That
80
would
like
be
yeah.
disgusting.
Ready to prove myself.
Marta actually not dying here, but that's okay. It'll, So yeah, Dane's in a dominant position. So Space Loner
Yeah.
needs to come up huge from the item shop right now.
I think you can even think about putting the Red Mist Pillager here, considering there's only the red hero. He doesn't know his hand, but because there is still a Legion Standard Bearer.
Yeah, so it's turn 5. So
But,
I mean,
yeah.
this is that thing I was talking about. If you're a new player, you just look at the options,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very few.
Yeah, there's.
And
how
we
many
see he
creeps?
actually does have both of his 2
Yeah. Yep.
bigger options.
New Order technically challenges.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
you could redirect creeps. So
Yeah.
now that he sees the mana spent, he sees no reason not to play the Pillager.
Yep. No Legion Standard Bearer to block that, so now Dane is threatening both the mid and the last lane.
It's growing.
It's looking grim.
So actually, I'm seeing, yeah, sort of a problem here with the way the decks line up is Space Lanter's has all this power at 6 and 7, but essentially not much before, because even these cards are like late game cards.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a tough deploy. Looks like he was able to pick up a Blink Dagger and, of course, the game-winning golden ticket. Gets you a random item. Any item.
I don't even know what does it here.
Yeah, even
Does
if you get a
even do
horn,
it?
it's tough. That mid lane is going to push through
Helm of Dominator looks pretty good.
to take a red
Yeah, you
mist.
can
Take
the
a red
red
miss.
Mm-hmm.
And that item that I can never say,
Apotheosis Blade.
Apotheosis Blade. You could kill their mist.
Take down the mist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do have initiative here. Is there anything that he wants to save it for? I'm just going to blink Zeus.
Okay.
No blue
Just
cards
obviously he doesn't
in hand, though.
concealing the
Three
ticket
hero.
for now.
Yeah, okay.
Still use it. May as well. You don't have initiative.
Not bad.
Shield
That's a good item.
is pretty good, but
You gained 1 gold.
Yeah.
yeah.
It basically buffs a lane very nicely. The problem is I'm not sure if that's an impactful enough item to turn the tide of this game.
Wouldn't mind an arm here, even though he doesn't need it. Actually, yeah, he might get a bigger arm next turn,
Yeah.
probably more units, so may as well save it.
Probably just equip an item or something and push for this tower.
Yeah.
So there's the Blink Dagger.
Blink Dagger being used as a short sword here. But it's
Yeah.
okay, you can blink later.
I think we might see an 80.
Yeah.
It's
That-
very likely.
Yeah.
That mid lane. Once again with that mist.
You have 2 bounty hunters coming in for Vic, and they're not very good at defending a wide board that's growing very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Vic taking this lane over pretty fast, though.
Yeah, suddenly it looks almost equal.
Some good cleaves
Mhm.
here. Could get some good value on the shield here.
Yeah, and it's nice nothing is in front of Sven, so he can't cleave off of anything.
You guys could see how scary Red Mist Pillager is as a card, right? It got hit in once, and all of a sudden Vic just reacts and puts 3 heroes in the lane.
Yeah.
Or 2,
Yeah.
2 more heroes in the lane. That is a big arm to rebellion.
Mhm.
Gives all the creep plus 2 attack and 1 armor.
Summons the boar. Sven's cleave is now active, but prevents that 5 damage from going in through the tower. Is there anything else that can be done here?
He could still put on the shield and the Keenful Musket to shoot something for 2. I don't know if the 2 is relevant.
Yeah, a lot of things have armor, and so there's nothing that he could take down with that Keenful.
Yeah, you can save probably the standard bear here with the medallion or shield of Aquila here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gets value here too as well.
By the way, that shield makes no sense. Your friends get more armor than the one that's wearing the shield, but... yeah.
Yep. As Ken mentioned, it's like there's a hole in it. You know.
And then it
Makes, yeah, who
2
made
more
this
shield.
shield?
On the other
There is
side.
kind of a
Guess he has
hole
those
in it.
wings. Those
Yeah,
wings
the
are blocking your
wings.
friends.
Mhm.
It'll be a clean death.
Alright, so the musket gets equipped. Mostly just for the plus 2. You could place a shot somewhere, but...
You could kill this creep off.
Okay.
Yep. Still has that shield too, if he wants to save that Legion Standard Bear. But
There
you
we
know,
go.
like, this is still an uphill battle for Vic here
Yeah,
because
because even
that
though
mid
we've taken over this lane, you got to be afraid of this lane.
and as the second lane of the 3, that's going to happen before this last one. So even if Vic was going to devote a lot of resources into that last lane to push for 80, it's not going to happen before the second lane.
We do see a Magicking Maul.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it only works if there's an unblock unit. So I don't think that will be the case.
We could see another just weird gank just on
Yeah.
a creep.
Oh, he's going to go
Okay,
for
he's
it.
gonna-
I like this a
Okay.
lot.
This is good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like this. Okay, so
Do you like this more?
Vic has 2 turns on the first lane and 1 turn on the last lane before he gets 80 in the middle, right? So he's thinking of, like, can I spring the trap from the right lane
Yeah.
into the first lane? Can I then play Disciple? All Vic needs to do is kind of soften up this 24 and then finish the push.
I love the
Yeah.
deciding to put both bounties here because he has stuff to do in this lane, and if this lane wins, then he can help the first
Ooh.
lane to spring the trap.
Look at that. Demagicking Maul. He could choose to destroy that retaliate
Mhm.
Okay.
with the burning oil.
The problem is I'm not sure if Vic could do 38 on the final lane in
Oh,
one
yeah.
turn.
This arrow went
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
The Legion is always well prepared.
I think Ogre Conscript is going to come down now from Dane
Yep,
to block.
Hmm.
Has to be afraid of Slay, which hasn't been played yet
Yep.
from Vic, but he has to go for it.
Your orders, Commander.
Equips the travelers to keep him alive.
This is fine. Bounty kills it for free almost.
Yep.
I'm expecting this tower to die in 2 turns. Have I miscalculated?
Yeah, if these are unblocked, it should be enough. Basically, 27 is a 3-turn clock, and then, yeah. But it's going to go higher and higher.
He could sucker punch that actually and
Yeah.
put in 9
Don't
more
mind
damage.
it at all,
Yeah.
actually.
No, he's out.
He's leaving. And he even has
Yeah, I
the
think
option
he has
to
a
blink.
pretty clean 3-turn.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants to get huge Ravage value, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dane understands that this miss is going to carry him eventually, and he just want to make sure that there's 0 chance of losing. He's going to port out the tide.
You do have Spring the Trap.
Roar isn't bad here either.
Yeah.
It's true.
Zeus keeps
Sven's-
getting clogged with everyone else. It's hard
Yeah.
for him to cast his power
Where's the
cards.
Sven gonna go? Yeah.
That could be good or bad. Actually, it's hard to tell right now.
No.
Appreciated.
So Dane's almost always going to win the second lane in 2 turns.
Yeah.
So all he has to do is defend the first lane. He can give up the third lane completely.
Yep, and he has 2 heroes coming out, Tide and Farvin. Both very tanky heroes.
And tied with the Ravage especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's guaranteed to land. It's guaranteed to stun both bounties here.
Yep.
Oh, Farvin going middle. I think, is that enough to push for in 1 turn?
It might.
So this is 8 or 7?
Depends what he draws here. If there's some big value card.
Yep. Now initiative in Dane's hand, or in his side. You just press that button, right?
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Ravage.
Yeah. He's not going to have the lethal this turn.
Spot weakness.
We
You
Did
know,
he draw?
this game might not be completely over. If Vic could take the final tower this lane, this turn,
Mm-hmm.
in theory he could deal 24.
Let me show you the way.
With the double disciples.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Spring the Trap and
Spring
the
the
Blink.
trap. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot left. But does he? The problem is, can he deal 9 without casting the Spring
Ooh.
the
I
trap?
think with his new orders,
Yeah.
he can redirect this. And it works out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
okay,
All
this is
right,
huge.
okay,
This
let's-
is huge.
This is a game.
Does Dane have any more creeps? Anything to block?
Well, Dane
Got a
doesn't have a
crippler.
hero here. Or you mean the
yeah,
first
yeah,
lane?
the first
Or the
lane,
first
all he's
lane,
got
yeah.
is a crippler
Yeah.
Okay.
and 2 legionnaires and 2 duels.
He also
Oh, he
has
some satyrs.
he also has pick a fight and sucker punch
Mhm.
as a kind of nice cute combo.
But yeah, he does have to get the tower here. So
So if you go new orders to change Sven, you get 9 more, but that also means you can't blink away with
That's
Zeus.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he leaves the Zeus here, just cast Lost in Time.
yeah.
Right.
Or
And
well,
then he'll
he
spring
needs
the
to
trap and...
spring.
Oh, he has no red here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he needs
he
to
ha-
spring here.
He has to win next turn,
Okay.
or he's just dead middle. So I
Yeah.
think he has to spring left
Yeah.
now.
And what that's going to do is going to get the board wider
Yeah.
and allow these to be dropped on the edge. And with some good creep spawns,
And as
It
long
could
as
be enough.
there's no arrow for bounty hunter there.
He's blinking away.
go to the middle. Okay.
Interesting. But then
Then
Okay,
now he's
so
short.
with God Strength or something. He just has to spring here if he wants to
Yeah.
lethal this turn.
Yeah. And he has to lethal this turn. He's dying middle.
Through me.
Miscount?
Can he shoot the tower with the...
No, you cannot shoot a tower for the
Oh,
people watching at
no.
home. Oh, he
yeah.
I don't know what the plan is here.
he cannot save middle, right? So there's no way.
It's looking bad.
Okay.
Would it have been enough though if he had sprung the trap and
I don't think so.
So it would have been
two
potentially
disciples.
9 plus 6 plus 6, so 12 So 21
21.
plus 9 here.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
plus-
assuming Dane cast
Yeah.
no cards.
Yeah,
and
if Dane
everything
cast
there.
nothing, it would have been enough. But we see the pick a fight would have at least been able to block 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sucker Punch would have stunned the hero as well. It's rough.
Actually, I think it actually would have been enough.
Really?
Because you could have put a hero here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It depends where the centaurs land. If there's no centaur here, if this is the left edge and everything goes to the right, then I think it's enough.
All right. Pick
Oh,
a
of course,
fight.
there's this pick a fight. So
Yeah.
actually, probably not.
Yeah, the pick a
That's
fight
it.
would have.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
Vic has
You know.
went to combat. Good guy, Vic, letting the opponent deal the full lethal.
Yep. Miss of Avernus in that mid lane. So hard to deal with once
Yeah.
that's going.
We've been talking about why Miss of Avernus is probably one of, if
Mhm.
not the best card in Gauntlet Draft, and I think we've seen it in this series, right? In
Yep.
Game 2 and Game 3, it just kind of just took over.
That's right.
It just does it all.
Yeah. And these games go on so long that it just gets to be such a big threat by like mana 8.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, I feel like, I wonder what the stats are for Miss of Avernus taking Ancient Towers. Feels
I'm
like
not sure. Yeah.
that's
But we saw it was
very
it was
common.
a pretty clean 3-turn clock
Yep.
on the ancient.
Mhm.
I think Sivka tweeted whenever his opponent plays like miss on turn 1, his win percentage dropped by like 15, 20%
Yeah,
or something, and
I
he's like a
believe it.
really good
Yeah.
player. So it's an amazing card.
Yeah. And with that, that's the end of the quarterfinals.
Yes.
So we are going to be looking at the next match, which is Yol versus Kuroki.
Oh, who'd I cheer for?
I mean,
This is,
you got to cheer for our boy. Come on.
Dota Allegiance, or the
I-
guy here?
Yo.
I don't know, dude.
Okay.
Kuroki was right.
Karaoke's
moving
right.
there.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
we're gonna take a short break,
Mhm.
but after this, we got exciting top 8 or now top 4 matches coming away. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Hello and welcome back to the Artifact Preview Tournament. We are moving into semifinals now. And who are we going to be taking a look at first today?
I believe we got Yoel Larson versus Kuroki.
This is going to be an exciting match. Are we split here on the panel, by the way? We're going for our boy Yoel?
No.
No?
No.
He's outside, dude. He's
Liquid
right there.
fanboy
I know he's out
right
there,
here.
but this guy's on Liquid.
Yeah.
I used to work for Liquid.
True.
Oh, right.
Got it
Okay.
divided.
You know,
I don't
I
know.
attended TI 7.
All right, I guess we have to balance
We
it
have
out.
to be the
Yeah.
Yoel fans here.
You
yeah.
guys,
Yoel fan.
rooting for
Yeah.
Yoel?
Yeah, he's a nice lad.
Yeah, like, look. Okay, maybe we need to root for Yoel. Kuroki's won enough,
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
but I think it would be funny and cool if he during the DPC season
Just wanna.
Like
I don't
casual,
know, I mean-
like. huh.
I'd be pretty happy with either one of these winning.
Yeah.
We know that's gonna happen. So Joel has been unstoppable in this tournament, 8-0 right now. And yeah, I mean Kuro does play for Liquid, but I feel like I'm kind of being in the same position with Joel being here at the studio. So also, I have to say I'm kind of like rooting for him here. Kuro has won enough.
That's true. So we've got another kind of a game match here too, right? With the Magic the Gathering versus Dota 2.
Yep.
We had the Gwent versus Hearthstone earlier, right? So here's to
Here we go.
hoping, right? We're going to be going into the game soon. But first, let's take a look at the decks we have here. We are familiar with Yoel's deck with the very aggressive double Sorla,
Yeah.
Lycan, and Abaddon, as well as the Debbie. And so we have, as we saw with his game against Nyman, he had to push for that 80 to get that damage all the way to the Ancient. And he's got 17, how many? 14 creeps. He's actually changed it up, but 14 creeps, and he's got some good items here as well that can push through that extra damage. As for our contender with Kuro, he has got the Tricolor. Yep, and I believe Lumi, you guys casted this match. What were the strengths of this deck?
Yeah, you got to scroll down a little bit to see the strength of this deck because he's got some powerhouse in the late game. So we're looking at Thunder Chat Alpha, Emissary of the Quorum,
Ooh.
Bolt of Damocles. You know, really, really strong cards if you get there. But Yoel's playing a really fast deck, so I guess the matchup is going to come down to can Kuro stall and survive long enough.
Yeah, Emissary of Quorum in particular is definitely a card that can just run away with the game if it's not dealt with immediately. The heroes obviously also keep the buffs from the Quorum. Quorum giving +2/+2 to all creatures on that lane, including heroes. Heroes keep the buffs. If you get that effect off a couple of times, those heroes will be unstoppable.
Yep. And did he manage to get that Bolt of Damocles off in those previous games?
No,
or?
he got locked.
Super unfortunate. I would love to see one of those here, but yeah, we're gonna go right into the game, and let's take a look at the flop here. So Debbie, unfortunately, gonna be matched up against the Ursa, and gonna die from this first lane. And let's take a zoom out once we're able to. But looking at the mini map, seems like Sorla is safe for now, which is always a good sign. But you have the option now of whether you want to play that Assault Ladders. And we've discussed this before, but what do you think of Assault Ladders, Savitz? Is this a card that you want to play early on?
I actually, personally, I don't draft that card very often. And he could have cast it across the lanes because it is an improvement card. But he doesn't want to commit to it just yet, or maybe he's holding on to the initiative here. Assault Ladder, of course, helping with dealing tower damage too, even when creatures are blocked.
Yep, and in this case too, the Assault Ladders aren't even going to have too much of an effect. All of the heroes have been blocked by bodies.
Oh, whoops! Yeah, I remembered the card. Of course, when you hit the tower, you get extra damage.
Yeah. I also want to point out one of the best card that's for this matchup is in Kuro's hand right now, which is the At Any Cost. So it is a 3 mana, deal 6 to everything. This is a rare spell, so that's why we don't see it as much. But Yoel Larson's deck is about going wide by casting these Savage Wolves and Selfish Clerics. And At Any Cost says, nope, I'm going to just kill everything. So it's a really tough spell that Yoel's going to have to navigate and beat.
Yeah, At Any Cost is always kind of a blowout card. It's very hard to play around. Dealing the 6 damage. It also deals the 6 damage to friendly characters. So oftentimes, unless you have a blue hero such as Luna that has 8 life,
Yep.
there is
Jamoy,
that's the Jamoy, the other one with 8. All the other blue heroes only have 6 to begin with. So without any health items, the heroes also die. So the friendly fire is something to keep in mind.
So we do see Kuroki's going to put that Yamoi in the first lane. And it looks like Yol might be choosing to abandon this one for now. He does put that Abaddon in the third lane. And we've seen that before with that previous game against Nyman as well. Abaddon just nourishing a big wide lane in that last lane.
That Ursa looks like it's going to be dying here. I don't see a way to save it, but it's not a big deal. Heroes dying isn't always a bad thing even, because now he will get to redeploy it to a different lane if he wants to in 2 turns. Or obviously just return it to the same one if that looks like the best option.
Yep, and that Stonehall Pike equipped onto Yamoi is going to make him a much bigger threat than before, since it's going to get +1 attack after every combat phase.
Yeah, all those Stonehall items really snowball. They are very good early on. Not so good later on in the game if you only get access to the item, let's say on the 6th round or so, because there won't be much time. But that weapon, getting it out so early here, the +1 attack will stack multiple times, and by the end of this game, it can play a huge role.
It's a brutal lane.
19, casual.
Can't do anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorla just hitting that tower for free. That's what you love to see when you have her.
Those are some big numbers early on, and being able to deploy the Wolf as well. Wolf, of course, at the end of each round, it is getting a +1 attack and +2 health, so it snowballs out of control pretty quickly. Like I'm being one of my personal favorites in the draft format, since there's less ways to deal with the Wolves.
Yep, and it's great to get those wolves as early as possible, so I'm sure Yol is happy to see those in hand.
Do you think that, next turn, he's going to want to deploy... yeah, there we go. Let's see if he can see through this.
The Skywrath at any cost? Is that
Yep.
Yeah, I think... Let's see if Joel can actually see through this and use the gank appropriately.
Or he could also choose to keep initiative, and then when he reaches that third lane and can intimidate that Skywrath out.
Yeah, bunch of options.
The gank, it does kill his own hero too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it doesn't look all that appealing. Or would it would live at 1 actually.
Yeah,
now that I look at it again.
Live,
so
yeah.
so yeah, that looks like a perfect gank to me.
I mean, it's going to die here anyways.
It is.
To the creep, so
it doesn't matter. Like if it's done, if the
Yeah, it's a very
hero
valuable
is down to
gank.
1. Yeah.
Mhm. And I'm sure Yol is looking at the deck list right now, and he knows that Kuro has a chance to have that
There
at
we
any
go.
cost.
There we go. Yeah.
Destroys that threat.
He's too strong.
He's like... We're playing card games now.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Not,
Not Dota 2.
not Dota 2.
Successful gank, stayed alive. Didn't
Yeah.
just feed your own life.
Ooh, great battlefield control here.
But he has the Assassin's Veil.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Assassin's Veil being a plus health item, it also has an active ability, so he will be able to point that arrow back to the opponent's hero again to get that trade off. Looks like he just
No,
passed
he
here.
doesn't
so
want it. I think he values keeping Lycan alive in the mid lane more importantly.
yeah,
That's true. And honestly, Debbie served her purpose by staying as a body that blocked that damage, and still managed to kill a creep. So now he can choose to redeploy her later 2
Yeah.
rounds.
that was a very interesting. I mean, he would have died. I believe the hero would have died anyway. But now that the blue hero from Kuro will stay alive on lane 1, which looks like a huge threat. But these are interesting decisions.
Yeah, and the other thing too is if he is scared of that at any cost, not killing Jamoy this turn will strand him here and protect his last lane.
Oh yeah,
You can see that both players are just essentially equipping items back and forth. They want to make sure that they're the last person to play a spell. Because when you're playing cards like Savage Wolf, it's really a blowout when you play it, and then they respond with like a Stonehall lead. And we're going to see
it is
a
gonna-
different creep
wow.
here. Yeah. This creep is a little bit more resistant to that.
yeah. That one actually gets the trade off with
Yeah.
the Stonehall Elite. Good call from Joel there.
Mhm.
Because if he went for the wolf, the wolf would have not traded so well.
Yep. And Kuro decides not to even trade with that. He might consider blocking the wolf now, or... Actually, no, he doesn't have anything. He only has a green hero here.
The disadvantage of having tricolor
Mm-hmm.
and not having drawing the right things at the right times.
Yeah, that's really bad in this, but not being able to play anything at all.
If Yol knew his hand, he'd be playing very aggressively. He already is, I guess.
Yeah, he will be rewarded by this.
May as well. And then this is going to be a threat to the 80 health Ancient.
Yeah. Wow.
These wolves are going to start ramping up quite fast.
Yeah, something that Yo Larson said yesterday on Couch is that if he noticed that his opponent is playing like 2 blue heroes, he's going to keep one stranded. That Jamoy on the first lane, he's never going to kill it.
So I think Joel is just going to ignore lane 1 from here on out.
And he's going to keep killing that Skywrath mage when it comes down. So that at any cost, which would have been very good here, I don't think it will ever get played.
Now, only an Ursa coming out for Kuro. I think he wants to try and defend that mid lane now. It's looking pretty scary as well with Sorla having an open lane. So he really wants to be able to block that. And right now with 6 mana, he does have 2 creeps with the Ursa being able to play that. And ooh, Sorla curving into Ursa there.
I guess he
Divine
doesn't matter.
Intervention.
That's a great draw.
That is a good card to pick up. Divine Intervention, a 5 mana card, gives all allies damage immunity for the round.
It's basically the Chen ability without the heal.
Yep.
Yeah, costs a little bit less.
Costs less.
So Kuro has initiative here.
Would be an option to use the Divine Intervention right here. Intimidation also from Joel could work out, but let's see what Kuro does first. The action is on him.
Yeah, I kind of like this just because it frees up both of his heroes to hit the tower for
20 damage?
20 damage.
Yeah, I think
That seems pretty
That's
20 damage
really
seems
great.
good, yeah.
Intimidation 5 cost moves a unit to random other lane, so it can also be used on friendly creeps or heroes. But in this spot, just moving that Ursa out of the way to be able to go for the tower here.
Can he win?
Yeah, he can even
Seems
equip a
like the
Stone
play.
Hall Pike. It's going to be
short
2
one
more
damage.
damage.
Two,
Very
yeah.
small amount.
Yeah.
Oh, and no.
Oh, he's
That's
not
enough.
actually enough.
Oh, because the ladder. The ladder
The
gave 4 more damage.
ladder.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh my
All right, well.
Okay.
Good math,
all
good math, guys.
That was,
GG.
That was fast.
That was
Yeah.
so
that
fast.
was like, what turn was that?
I think it was mana 6.
Mana 6, so
Mana
turn 4.
6.
Turn 3. Damn.
Okay.
Like the fastest game I've seen at least. in
Yeah,
this
compared to
tournament.
our
As a-
last games with that red-green Enchantress.
The push strat
Ooh.
coming back to haunt Kuroki.
Yep.
Just damn.
Can't even escape it in Artifact.
That was okay. We barely got into that one, and just game's over.
Yeah.
But that
That's
is
what happens.
yeah, but that's one thing that happens with Sorla quite often. That's the way she plays out. She helps to deal that extra damage to the tower in particular, allowing you to take those towers early on, and especially here with those assault ladders coming in. That was a lot of damage. early.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think because Sorla's not a hero in Dota that Kuro just doesn't know how to play
Yeah, I
against
think
it?
he's having trouble downloading
Having-
data.
like-
yeah, he's just like,
What-
what is
what
this
is
hero?
this?
What
Yeah.
is? It's not Prophet or Lone Druid. Like, what's
true, yeah.
happening? Oh man. So maybe we can. If you're Kuro, how do you play that differently?
I think he needs to make sure that he takes care of the blue heroes, and really, like, Yomoy needed to go into the last lane on turn 2.
Yeah.
Because right now Yo is using things like gank or just stranding and just completely overtake the game. So Kuro needs to be really careful to deploy, I say.
I think so too.
Yeah.
When you have 2 blue heroes and a lot of really important blue spells, one missed deploy and you lose.
Yep.
That's just how Razor's Edge the matchup is.
Especially against this deck. It just kills you in like 3-4 turns.
Yeah, I think the Sorla is the key card here. I think Kuro needs to be able to really keep the Sorla at bay, because it's just if the Sorla is hitting the tower, it is obviously that what's it, 12 damage per hit or so.
Yeah.
It is fairly weak hero, so something like at any cost might be an option early on.
Yep.
Sorla hits the tower 3 times and you're probably losing the game.
Yep.
So
At least that tower.
Yeah, and on top of that, he does only have how many creeps? Like, let's take a look here.
Kuro's
Oh,
got some
Kuro's actually
zombies, I
got
think.
some.
Yeah.
He's got a decent number of creeps.
he I don't think he had good draw luck.
Yeah, he
that
did not
game.
have good
Yeah.
draw.
But man, Joel's deck's scary.
Yeah, it's
So-
it's quick and fast, and once he gets that assault ladders or those wolves just developing so early, it's very hard for
He's
anyone
got
to deal
the
with.
Lycan, even the Debbie. Everything has so much burst potential to hit the tower for so much. You just need to get rid of some blockers, and all of a sudden you're taking 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't think Curl expected to lose that turn.
That was such a convincing and dominating win from Joel that Kuro is going to have his hands full just to keep up.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's funny because we haven't seen too many aggressive decks in this draft tournament so far, or even in general. And do you remember the PAX aggro deck?
Yes.
That was a blue and black deck. Never really got to shine and show the power of this kind of aggressive type of play.
The PAX aggro deck killed it around like turn 8.
Yeah.
This deck killed at turn 6 or mana 6. So
turn 6.
it's
So.
much faster.
Yeah. So we're still waiting on the match to begin. But what do you think? How can Kuro survive to the late game if that's his win
He needs to
condition?
draw his zombies. He needs to
Zombies.
deploy correctly.
Yep.
And he needs to get off that at any cost. Maybe throw it out earlier than you necessarily have to, just to kill a Sorla at the right timing.
Could we maybe get the deck lists on
Yeah,
Visible
let's take a
again?
look.
I don't
Let's
quite remember what's in
Yeah,
there.
let's-
Kuro's deck list in particular, if we could look at that.
Yeah.
I also think it's completely okay to just deploy heroes right in front of Sorlikon just to die. Because your deck is much stronger in the late game, right?
Yeah.
Your deck is about Thunder God's Wrath, or not Thunder God, but Mystic Flare, Emissary, Bow of Damocles. You need to survive to that point. So I
If
think it's
you're-
okay to sacrifice heroes early on.
If you guys want to see their deck list, you can hop on the links that we give.
Yeah.
The API lets you just look at them and click on the cards and everything like that. That should be on our social. It should be on Reddit. It should also be linked in the chat. So follow along. You can see what Kuro has to draw here.
And
we
if
go.
you're also extremely confused, we have the tutorial up as well.
Yeah. He needs that Relentless Zombie.
The
He
2
needs
Bronze
the-
Legionnaire is great.
Yeah, he needs those.
Volmartyr is great.
Yeah, he actually has a decent amount of
He just didn't draw
creeps,
much.
yeah.
Oh.
which is what he needed to really block that damage. He has
Yeah.
2-dimensional
Portal.
portals.
Portal is great.
Portal.
Yeah, he
Portal
needs
is
Portal,
fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, generating blockers is excellent against that. Mystic Flare, of course.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be much that would give Yoel's heroes armor, so that might be a good way to take out those black heroes.
Yeah, if you get to cast like 1 or 2 Mystic Flare, I say Kuro's pretty favored actually.
Yeah. I think that Yamoy stranded in that first lane just really took a turn for the bad for him.
I think, this will go better. I think he knows. I mean, he knew seeing the 2 Sorlas at the start of the game, but like once you play it once, you kind of like, okay.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
I understand
Sorla,
now.
the new hero. I get what she does.
But it's more like you maybe understand the urgency of it.
Yep.
Hitting your tower once is just probably not even okay.
Yeah.
It's true. Yep. And still waiting on the games right now, but the other matchup just later on, that's going to be Dane versus Mogwai. So it's going to be the winner of this one, Yol versus Kuro, versus the winner of Dane versus Mogwai.
Yep.
For our grand finals.
Dane, guy that eliminated our life coach.
Yeah, those
Our
were
boy.
some great games,
Yeah,
though.
great
I
series.
highly recommend checking those out. But yeah, Dane also continuing his trend of perfect lethal. I don't know if you saw that last game, but calculated TP of Legion to get that 17 health. There are some tech issues.
Kuro, technical pause for
Technical
Kuroki.
pause, yeah.
It's okay.
He's playing in the major at the same time.
No, he's he's outside smoking. I know what a Kuro tech pause
Yeah.
is.
We've seen it
He
before.
is
Yeah.
smoking a cigarette outside.
I need to
wondering
smoke
what
after that
happened.
game.
Yeah, he's just like
It's like,
he's like messaging Ice Frog right now. You better not fucking add Sorlikon. Don't add Sorlikon into Dota.
yeah,
What
I
is
never want to
this?
see this.
Yeah. But Yol seems to be. I think there's something about simplifying your decision making. I always talk about that. When you draft and play, Yol's deck seems to have. It's very clear what it wants to do. He knows what he has to do. He doesn't have to. I don't want to say simple because he made a lot of great plays. That gank was
That gank goes game winning.
Yeah.
game-winning gank, but he knows he has to hit the towers and he has to hit them fast. So he's gonna,
That's
Yeah.
what
Do
he's
that
going to
strategy,
do.
yeah.
He knows
And-
his win condition.
And Kuro clearly needs to get more value out of those blue heroes. Because one blue hero was stranded on lane 1 and the other one was dead. And that's what happened. Like, it's a blowout and on a 6 mana round already. Like, I don't even remember seeing a game that I've played myself when the game would have ended at 6 mana.
Yeah.
In draft in particular.
That's true, yeah.
that second Sorlikon is what
Yeah.
really. I mean, one of them died,
the
right?
savior, yeah.
But second Sorlikon. I remember when Yol drafted that second Sorlikon, he was just, like, what did I do to deserve a second Sorlikon? Just shows up in my
Baffled, yeah.
Yeah. We're waiting for Kuro, but do you guys have any? Oh, is it?
Nope.
Okay.
We're still waiting. But yeah, was there a particular deck of the 4 that you? Oh, actually, we're
No,
live.
no, we-
Let's
we
just
in.
hop
There
in.
we go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
No more
cigarette break
stalling.
done.
All right.
Can't
Let's go.
wait.
So let's zoom out really quick. See where
I can't do it yet.
Oh, okay.
But looking at the mini map though,
The
it's-
mini map. Let's go.
it's
I mean,
Debbie's not having a good time.
Beastmaster's hitting it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, we know that much.
yeah.
Everything else is surviving.
That dimensional portal in Kuro's
That's
hand is
huge,
is a card that he will certainly need, of course, for 4 costs, summoning 3 melee creeps, and that's the kind of wall he needs to generate against the
This is just
against
sort of
the aggressive strategy.
hitting a hero. Good for Kuro.
Also, Relentless Zombie in
Ooh.
Kuro's hand. That's also amazing.
Yeah, I think this game's gonna look much better for Kuro.
Okay.
Well,
Looks
that-
like we're going to see a trade here.
That's a good one, helping out. The ability from the Assassin Apprentice, letting it retarget and gets to deal that 12 damage to take out the Beastmaster. Oh, that's a bad lane for the Ursa right here. Lycan,
Yeah.
Lycan giving that nice +2 attack with the ability
And the
to the
assault ladders, my
Creatures
god.
next to
Ugh,
That-
12 damage.
Full martyr coming down and just
Already.
hitting for 6.
wow.
Oh.
It's like he's on the chopping block
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
somehow he's doing so much damage.
He's a 2-2.
Papa.
Weak. Doing 6 to the tower.
And this was the critical point in the last game, right? Because the game was so short. Where
Yeah.
do you put this blue hero? It's not
Yeah.
clear. No, it's easy for us to say, oh yeah, you got to put the blue hero in the right lane. What is the right lane here?
Hmm.
Okay, he's
Seems
going to
like
go
he's
left.
going-
Yeah.
But the Solar is going to die. Would you put it in the lane that there's no Solar?
I think he might be wanting to put it on the... Well, this is an interesting decision. There's so many things playing into this. Because if the Sorla is dying... I don't know about that, but his other hero
Ooh.
is dying here. The green hero will die to
Ooh.
Farhan, so
Gotta
you do
That-
not have one hero.
gotta
in each
cloak
lane.
that up,
Oh wow!
please.
Yeah. Kuro,
Please, Kuro.
you're not gonna like it.
Time.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
Well,
we went the wrong
You
It's-
have a relentless
It's
zombie.
not the worst.
You
he's
have
got
It's
a
not the
zombie.
worst. Yeah,
He's
he's
got
got,
a
he's got
zombie.
plays. Yeah.
Yeah,
He has dimensional portal too, but
definitely
it's
looks
probably
like
the
Portal to
zombie
me.
is
I
better.
think zombie's better.
Oh, he
Yeah.
got it to the
There
zombie.
we go.
Because it blocks Sorla for 2 turns.
I'm
And
sorry I
it's
doubted you,
Kills
Kuro.
he's fine. He's fine.
but
Okay.
Gonna get a heal here.
could heal up.
Does Yol want to heal
Does
up?
he
That's
want
to
the
heal up?
question here. Do you want your Sorla to die? Maybe move it somewhere else.
I actually think he might want it to die because
Yeah.
hitting a zombie twice with a Sorla kind of is like worse than dying.
Yes, and you know that this blue hero will be here and will be very difficult to kill. It's got 12 health.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Yol's looking at the deck list too right now, and probably just doesn't want to be in the hero.
No,
okay.
Does it?
heals.
He's going
Okay.
to keep the
Just-
Sorla alive.
We know nothing.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that was, I think, a very close decision,
Mhm.
right? Normally, you just
Yeah.
heal instantly. He kind of definitely thought about it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Last
So
thing
the
here.
selfish cleric could come down here and actually trade with the Ursa if he wants to go for it.
Yeah, at least in theory, if there's no items coming in. There's that second Traveler's Cloak. And Joel knows that there is an item.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, when you're in game and you see your opponent's hand, item cards have a different color on the back. So he
They
definitely
are
knew.
playing fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just
the Traveler's Cloak coming in to save the Ursa there, giving it +4 health.
Ooh, Book of the Dead. This is a great card. Yo even specifically talked about that when he was drafting. Basically, whenever your melee creeps die, it gets a charge on the card, and then you could click it to make a 2/2 zombie for every charge on it.
Oops.
So
Yeah, you
Would
bring
you-
back your melee creeps basically.
Yeah.
It's even
Yeah.
fancier if you get to play it with the blue in combination with the dimensional portal, but it's still a good card to have.
This is how
in
scary
certain situations.
Sorla Khan is. Just drops into a lane and potential healthy lane, 37 health, and if it hits the towers, just half the life is just gone.
Looks like this deployment went pretty
Oh.
well for
Ooh.
Kuroda. Oh,
Good job.
Yep.
With the arrow there. So far, so good for Kuro.
Just needs to keep stalling.
Yeah.
Rebel Decoy is probably one of Yol's best cards in the deck because we keep talking about Sorla Khan needing to hit towers, and sometimes she's like blocked or not in an empty position, and Rebel Decoy lets you move it in the right position.
He activates that Abaddon ability there to fully heal him and give him damage immunity.
yep, and also what the Abaddon does here is that the priority passes to Kuro, so now he will get to see what Kuro does first.
Yeah.
the Sister of the Whale in Joel's hand is looking very strong. It's a 5 cost 4 attack and 5 health what do you call it, creep. And the ability allows re-targeting, so it could help out take out the J Muhul.
Jamoy.
Jamoy.
Your boy.
Your boy,
Close enough.
Jamoy.
Your boy Jamoy, yeah. So placing it between the creeps is likely here, and then going for the retarget. Yep, looks like he's going for it.
Your name is on my
Yep, and he sees no items in
Oof.
Kuro's hands, so there's no way for this Yamoy to live.
Kuro can cast a dimensional portal, but I think he's saving it for the middle lane because, again, Sorla's there, and Sorla right now
Yep.
is pretty angry.
Yes. While the dimensional portal would have been strong there, I do definitely agree with this decision to save it here.
Yep, and that's going to save Skyrath.
This also prevents the Vandal from hitting the tower. Can only place it in an open combat position.
Okay, concussive shot's gonna come down.
Oh,
Looks like he's
that's-
gonna
Reduce
save
his
it.
armor.
Keeps the Vandal.
Yeah.
Just wants to... Oh my god, like every lane's so scary.
Oh, he's just passing straight up. He's like, I want you to do something first.
Yeah.
And he
And,
does.
he's
Take a
already
fight.
winning the lane too, so... Oh, but here
This
the
is
Rebel
such a blowout.
Decoy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is an excellent answer coming in. Rebel Decoy, of course, letting Joel swap the positions of another creature or another
An
creep
ally.
or hero on the lane. So in this situation, it looks like it might be a good way to reposition that Lycan to get it out of the Ursa's way.
And when you swap, those arrows remain exactly the same, so you still get the Ursa kill, and you protect your hero.
Wow, that went
Yep.
so well
Yeah.
for Joel.
And notice how Yo he passed with 5 mana. It's like, you do something first.
Blink Dagger available if he wants to go for it. That is usually an item that you like picking if you see it.
It's an insta
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah.
I think that's great, especially when you have Sorla in your deck, and if you can blink her to a place that's a pretty wide lane,
Yep.
you'll get a free tower hit.
No,
Blink
you buy-
Dagger.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Or just
gotta
like-
buy it. It's such a powerful
I was
item.
like, what's happening?
So it's
So-
just next leveling us.
In draft, like personally, my favorite way to use the Blink Dagger is that after you take out a 40 tower, going for the 80, which is the ancient tower, is a kind of an uncommon thing. So the Blink Dagger allows you to relocate the hero that just took out the first tower on a lane
For sure.
to be able
yeah.
to go more efficiently for the first tower on a second or third lane.
So we are approaching that critical turn that I think Kuro could start making a comeback. He has Mystic Flare in hand, and he has a blue hero on the mid lane. If he gets initiative, he's able to actually really control the lane, control the game now.
No armor anywhere,
Yeah.
so the Mystic Flare will be excellent. Mystic Flare dealing 12 damage divided between adjacent creatures. So if there's two creatures, basically it deals 6 to each, or if there's 3. If, for example, here, if you would target the Sister of the Whale, which is the creep in the middle between the heroes, that would be 4 damage to each character.
Yeah.
And if the target was the Sorlakan, it would deal 6 damage to the Sorlakan and 6 to the Sister of the Whale. If the creep was targeted on the right side here, it would be just, which obviously isn't
12
a good
damage.
play,
12
but it would be 12
12
damage.
to the
Yes.
creep. You know, sometimes you just want to send a message.
Yeah.
Savage.
There is one charge on this Book of the Dead now, because one melee creep died last time. But, yeah. It looks like, let's see.
Yeah.
Gonna
Okay.
Oh,
put a Blink Dagger on Farvin.
Interesting.
I thought Kuro was, just passing straight
Yeah,
up to keep
Yeah.
priority. Or-
I thought that was like a... That's an interesting decision.
Because
Is he planning to abandon the lane?
if he blinks out, Sorla's hitting for, 12.
Right. Don't necessarily want that.
I'll give my
Okay,
love
Rebel
full
Decoy is
value.
going to come down. Priority or initiative back in the hand of Kuro. Kuro's going to pass.
Now we might see the Sister of the Whale retargeting. Maybe that's what
Yeah, he's
what
gonna
Kuro was considering.
retarget the Farvin here.
So
Nope.
yeah,
It's going to
Swap
swap. Make
to
sure
keep the
Sorla's
Sorla
alive. Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Blinks
so
out.
now he blinks away. Now
Blinks
initiative.
Third lane. That's okay.
He could also just no accident kill the creep here
Yep.
and push for 14.
Oh my god.
Could be 16 if he makes a little zombie with the Book of the Dead.
Yep.
Yeah, once you get your hero out, once they blink out, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you know they have no response. So, okay. That's good
That's,
for Kuro.
It's a
yeah.
fine arrow there.
Yeah.
At least you kill off his
Finishing
creep.
off the creep. Yep.
Mhm.
Nothing left for Kuro on the first
Oh my
lane there.
god.
But this lane is going a lot better. The Beastmaster ability finally available, which is on a long cooldown, but it does create that 3 attack and 3 health creep, which will trade for the Sorla here. But Joel has the Blink Tracker ready to reposition the Sorla.
Do you flare here?
You have to flare, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let it get away.
Yeah.
Now that Blink Tracker is also used, you know that it will be out of the game for a couple of rounds.
Yeah, I think as Kuro, you absolutely have to flare. Otherwise, you
Oh,
might
look at
get
that.
another damage.
The light from the top. All right. Also push for 13. Not bad at all. But
Yep.
now initiative back in Yo Larson's hand. He could play, for example, Intimidate, but he's going to offer just playing more creeps.
Yeah, he knows that with that green hero, Kuro's options are likely to be very limited. Joel Larsson knows that only green cards can be played, so there's nothing too scary to contest the wolf.
Got to tank a bit here.
Yep. He could block off 7 damage with the Prowler Vanguard.
So he places next to
Places
his
it
hero.
here so that he gets the armor benefit.
Correct.
Yeah, expecting Kuro's heroes to be deployed on the rightmost lane right now, because that seems to be the lane that will be deciding this game. It's also going in Joel's favor right now, but
This is a rough situation because
Those extra
Joel
heroes.
has initiative and he has intimidation.
he does.
So whatever he draws, he's not going to be able to really use it.
Yeah. Just the Ursa. I would expect probably maybe even both of the
Yeah, I think
Kuro's
he
heroes
might.
to
Yeah.
go on lane 3.
He might have recognized this and is going to give up first lane entirely.
That's scary, though, because right now Yo Larson could take the first tower
Yes.
and then go 80 next
Yeah.
turn.
Drop
There's 2
some-
black heroes coming in, too.
drop some assault ladders.
Yeah.
How many does he have disciple? He has one.
One disciple, but he has
6 ladders.
Six
ladders and a bunch of creeps.
This would be
Yeah.
such a perfect time for the at any cost.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
unfortunately for Kuro, he doesn't have it just yet.
Maybe he's hoping.
Yep.
He might
If he
draw
draws
it.
it, or Yamoy's
Yeah,
ability.
he's going to get intimidated, so
Yeah.
probably doesn't matter what he draws here.
Hmm.
I think the win condition now for Yo Larson is actually to go for 80 here. It feels like it's going to be tough to take the other lanes.
I mean, the lane 3, it's almost done already too. It was down to
Here's what
7 already.
So he's doing it automatically. I
Yeah.
guess it is kind of
Oh.
a decision.
Oh.
If,
That's not the right lane to go to.
yeah.
For Joel, that works out very well.
Yes.
He didn't want to go for that lane anyway.
He could get the tower lethal this turn.
If he
Swap and then put the gun on, yeah.
Yep.
he can also just make a.
Make a
Oh,
good.
he
no,
can't.
it's
No,
on
Yeah, it's on
cooldown.
cooldown.
It's
Yeah.
on CD.
The gun
Alright.
giving that +2 attack. Probably gonna
Perfect
fire
lethal.
away as well, just to finish off that creep, dealing
Yeah.
2 damage with the activate ability.
Oh, there's going to be 2 Sorla Khan in this lane next turn. It's going
Yeah.
to hurt.
This is. He can just do. Can he do 80?
I think
No,
there's
not
potential
even-
if he draws.
If he
Can.
draws 2 Assault Ladder.
Assault
If he draws
ladders.
assault ladder,
or
disciple,
Yeah, I think for sure he can.
Yeah.
but he won't know until he deploys. So
What if?
All right. What did he draw? He got the. Just a Prowler Vanguard. He has Foresight as well. To perhaps draw some more answers. But it's going to be tough. No heroes
only
coming out
2
for Kuro.
creeps and taking only 2 damage. This is a feels
That's
tough.
Those are arrows.
Yeah,
Are
those arrows.
Yeah.
Is there any way to like? He does have the battlefield control, but it's still not that much damage. It would the battlefield control allows you to reposition the arrow, and you can reposition it into your opponent's.
I am at your service,
Tower.
my chief.
Kuro
Fair
needs to TP out the Jamoy.
Oh yeah.
He needs to get him back in the first lane and at least, make him scared. Make him think you have it at any cost, right? Because that's really the only card that could save him at this point.
Do you agree
Absolutely.
with that troll, or do you agree with maybe casting the foresight? Because
Well-
it gives you more of a chance to draw into what you.
Yeah,
need
I
to
guess you
into.
draw 2 cards right now, whereas Troll only gives you 1 extra card next turn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a close decision.
Yeah,
It's
you also do more damage to tower.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice
he's
to.
probably right.
It's also nice to just be kind of like efficient on your resources and play the 6 mana card instead of the 4 one.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sad, though, that the Jamoy got roared to the mid lane, because if Jamoy was here, you still TP him out, but at least you have access to these cards, and perhaps you do both, Foresight and the Troll.
No playable cards for Joe Larsen here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serve at Emperor Kalani's
Ooh,
Wanted
not
that
the
arrow to go Go right.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
odds to get that correct arrow to attack the wolf were pretty slim. Only 25%, I believe.
Yes.
Ooh, Blade of the Vigil
Yep.
on Ursa, sweet.
It's 50%
Especially-
straight, and then 25% each side.
Yeah.
Fury
Ooh.
swipes also applying on the cleave targets.
Yes, you can apply negative armor.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Well, Sorla is going to the left for sure. Because is it
Ooh.
No, I think he's
Oh.
going double right because
yeah.
he's got
He's got
Vando in
7.
hand.
Yeah, but he has the blink jacker. So because of the blink jacker, I thought he would have went for the left lane first.
I think he's afraid of at any cost. That's the only card that
Okay.
could beat him.
and
Makes
he
sense.
can't. He has no way to answer. Oh,
The double mind game.
what?
Curls,
Whoa.
curls in
That
your head.
is.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Curls in your head, dude.
That is
Yeah,
actually
downloaded.
next level. He.
Wow.
So he predicted that.
Yes, he
My
totally did.
god.
It doesn't change
What
the
a-
fact that he's still super.
He's yeah, he's probably gonna lose.
Yeah, it's
But that
still pretty rough.
that is a play,
Ooh, intimidate's great.
and I guess it wouldn't have mattered if he put it here. It would have gotten intimidated. So
Yeah.
Keen Folk turret, also pretty alright here. It is an improvement that can be cast across lanes, so he can cast it from this lane where he doesn't really need to play anything on the lane itself to get more of a handle on let's say the third lane.
Yeah.
he's gonna
To
go
the
for
forward
80 or not?
creep.
Let's see.
He's also thinking about, can I just keep initiative? But
Yep.
okay, he's gonna go with the turret.
Yep.
The turret actually kills the Stonehall Elite in one shot, so that's pretty nice.
It also kills the
Ooh.
hero if he has initiative, right?
Kuro just drew his emissary.
Okay, it's 8
and
mana.
In the last turn, he is able to play that. But
Joel has
The
the
slay-
answer. Slay is the
Slay.
perfect answer to that.
Oh,
Destroying any creep, and
That
since it
sucks.
costs only 3, it will also give him a strong tempo advantage.
and if you're Kuro, maybe you're thinking you have to take that risk anyway. You look at Yoel's deck, and there is only one Slay.
You're thinking if he wants to play the Vandal here or not, that would push some extra damage, but dealing 4 damage to enemy tower is pretty tempting to save for the third lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since the tower is already down to 7, so that's more than half of the remaining health on that tower.
Yeah, I like the draw 2 here. He really needs to find things like Mystic Flare. Ooh, enough magic. Okay. That could stall him for one turn, but he needs to start winning.
Enough magic tends to be a better card when you are ahead, so it kind of
Yeah.
like takes away the chance for your opponent to do much to get back into the game. Enough magic,
This
of course,
is-
5-cost card that immediately proceeds the turn to the combat phase, which then was the
just-
next lane to be acted upon.
I mean, if you really wanted to be, you could even blink the Sorla left if you wanted to.
Sure.
You know, like
Yeah, I think Yoel has a lot of options here. He's fine with not
Yeah.
committing too much in the first lane because those assault ladders are going to start coming in, and
Yeah.
that's just going to easily let him take that first lane.
Yeah, then like an arrow here going to the right kind of sucks. Joel definitely wishing that it went to the tower instead. But
Okay.
that was interesting. I think he just wanted to like.
I
maybe
think he
pass
wants
Like
to
trying to
see
stall,
yeah,
yeah.
what the enemy does. I think he's saving that Keenfold turret that could kill the elite in front of
Yeah.
Solar Khan for the lethal.
I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't start off with that.
Yeah.
I maybe would have personally like but
he could. I mean, he could kill a green hero. with
Actually,
it.
yeah, why didn't he just kill the green hero?
yeah, maybe
Like,
yeah,
that's,
or green hero, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
either one deals enough damage. The Sorla obviously looking like it's even more damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enough magic
Alright.
just to
That's it.
stall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that Kuro correctly identifying what he needs to do there to live.
Yeah, Joel Larson
Um,
maybe a little bit punished by not starting off with that
Hornet
turret there too.
Alpha can't afford it.
Because now he didn't get to use that at all.
Yeah, had he steam cannon any one of those units, he's presenting lethal. And then Kuro needed to do something to survive, right?
The Kinfolk
Yeah.
turret, or what is it called?
All right. Well, the first lane's still chugging along, so it's gonna hit for another big chunk.
Yeah, we're gonna have to note that one down and ask Yoel why he did that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good question.
Yeah. Kuro's just hoping he draws
Another
some sort of
solid
answer. He
turret.
does finally have at any cost. And he would be able to play this here, but just to survive.
Yeah, we're starting to run into a problem where Savage mentioned earlier, at any cost also hits your own units.
Yeah.
So it's gonna kill Ursa if you cast it in the final lane.
This lane has a 2-turn clock.
Yep.
If he doesn't deploy here.
I believe
Do
Joel
something.
would have kind of liked to play something there, but he's holding on to the initiative for the third lane now. He
Yeah.
wants to be able to act first when the third lane action happens.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see an immediate intimidate here and
Oh,
just
yeah.
push the blue hero away.
Yeah, he definitely wants to do that just to limit the playable cards here. So
And
yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Because blue hero is the one that
that's
had the cards potentially
gonna
that would have stopped it
be
the lethal.
enough, right?
It should be.
There's no way to stop Sorla, even if you Primal Roared and block this damage.
Yeah.
She's still going to be hitting.
Yes.
That's it.
Ursa's only have one action because the turret, it's going to clean him up as well.
Oh, yeah.
he would need to start with something.
So this
that,
is it. The last roar.
That's gonna do it. Roar, yeah, strong card, but just not enough. Is he forgetting about the turret? Or is this BM?
Yeah,
This is
he's
actually
just
BM.
I think
Come on,
he's
Yo
BMing
Larson.
Maybe he's right, dude.
All right, and that's victory.
Yeah.
Our boy Yol. Look at him.
Oh, easy.
He's going to be in the finals.
Dota fans raging.
Yeah.
They're-
Dota fans,
They're not
where are
happy
you?
with him.
Very
That's very,
convincing,
very
yeah.
one-sided.
Oh, man.
Yo did
usually
play
was.
Dota back in the day. Yeah, he told me he plays with Pycat. So
Yeah, Pycat wished him luck. I saw a text.
yeah, there you go. So a little bit of Dota
Sweets,
ties there.
yeah.
All right, let's get Yola here and ask him about why he didn't use the turret there.
Yeah.
And maybe how it feels to be in the finals.
Thank you, Savich.
Thank you, thank you.
Yo
Very-
Larson, congrats.
Yeah.
You are in the final once again. And you are so far undefeated in the tournament as well. How do you
yeah.
feel?
I feel great.
How
What
can
up?
I know? How can I feel bad?
Yeah.
I just want to
How
say
does it feel?
it feels great. I'm sure it does. I don't have
does.
that. I don't know how it feels like.
Come on.
But that last lane, we just have a question for you. You
Yeah.
decided not to immediately kill the hero or the elite with your turret. Is there a reason for doing that? And
Yeah, I was afraid of at any cost.
Hmm.
If my opponent plays at any cost and I know accident first, I can actually finish off the Ursa with the turret. Otherwise, he sweeps my board and then he can maybe kill me next turn.
we did not think about that.
Ah.
Okay.
That's why
3
he's in the
levels.
finals.
3 steps ahead, yeah.
He's actually 3 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Because that's the only card you could potentially lose to.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
what I
position.
felt like too.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
What'd you think of Kuroki?
Let's see. I think he had an incredibly hard matchup. And
Yes.
I'm impressed how far he has come with so little experience that he has. He's also playing from some place in Egypt with bad internet connection. I mean, like, can that man do it all? So, pretty impressive.
We were impressed with his TP the Jumoy out,
Yeah.
replace it in the lane.
Yeah, that
correctly
was
predicted.
luckily I drew another intimidation. That was very big, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
He had drawn so many cards, I just assumed he had some kind of AoE effect going there. Yeah, the second game was it was difficult. The first one was kind of a run over.
Yeah.
It was just
He did not draw
Yeah.
very well. And
I believe
you
it,
drew.
but yeah, he has 3 colors though, and like
Yeah.
Farven can't really impact the board at
Mhm.
any point until like turn 8. So
Yeah.
it's kind of easy to overwhelm your opponent when they have so many expensive spells and can have so many awkward draws with double sword. Like, it's just yeah.
So, okay, you have coming up next. We'll have the other semifinal,
Yeah.
and then we'll have the final. But before we get into that, we have a special announcement. We're gonna be doing some streaming 2 days before the beta comes out.
Okay.
So let's production, if you can bring up the bracket, or sorry, not the bracket, the graphic. So we're having a little Artifact House party. These are the people that are going to be there. It's November 17th to 19th. It'll be November 17th. Will start around 4 p.m. And that'll be able to be streamed on Twitch. Everyone will be able to stream. That's currently in the alpha. And the beta will begin on November 19th. So we'll be doing a bit of a countdown. And we'll also be playing with all you people that are in the beta on the 19th. All day.
All day.
You can challenge us. You can challenge Yol.
Yep.
He'll be playing against
Bring it.
playing against us, playing against you guys. That's going to be really fun. We have a bunch of Dota personalities. We have a bunch of Artifact personalities and other people. So
Time for Dota personality to level up.
yeah.
In, you know?
So
Yeah.
you're
Some
gonna
tutelage.
you're gonna get to fight Capitalist and
I'm
some
in.
Dota guys. So
I'm
we'll
in.
see.
I'm
We'll see
in.
what happens.
I mean, Loom is pretty good. He's a Dota personality, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. We'll
I've
see.
been excommunicated by the Dota community. So
Dota
I don't
Exit
know.
out.
Say
Yeah.
that.
But thanks for
Mhm.
coming on, and telling us your thoughts,
Yeah,
and
sure.
good luck in the finals.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'll maybe cast the other semifinals. with
Oh,
you guys.
okay.
Oh,
Cool.
all right. Yeah,
sounds
that'd
good.
be awesome.
See who I'll be playing against.
So
Yeah.
let's. You want to take a break really quick, and then we'll
Yeah,
be back with
let's
the
go
second
break.
semi.
Sounds great.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll take it to a break. See you soon.
right, we are back. I'm joined at the desk by Hype10, our locked-in finalist, Joel Larson.
What's up?
Hey.
So, at this point, our bracket is thus. We should be able to pull it up for you guys. Joel Larson is locked in to the finals, and we're going to be doing the second semifinals bracket. That's going to be Dane versus Mogwai. This is kind of the clash of the 3 card games at this
Mogwai's
point.
ready to go. He's already
Yeah.
in queue.
Oh, look at that. We're going to have to get into this in just a moment. So we've got Joel Larson, Magic the Gathering player, Dane, the Hearthstone player, and Mogwai, the Gwent player.
Right.
We'll have to see who emerges victorious. Joel, if you had to pick kind of one of these decks that you'd be a little more scared of facing.
I don't know. I tried to look at them very recently. One deck is way better at racing me, which is the black deck, because it has tons of Oglodi Vandals, and they can overcome me earlier with their more powerful heroes in kind of the flop.
Yep.
And then they can actually punish me for getting ahead, so that's kind of scary. The other deck, however, can be really good at being defensive, like Enchantress holds her lane very well. Legion Commander is extra scary because they can very easily just kill my Sorlacons with Yule. And then they have Sven, which is also kind of annoying if you're trying to go wide.
Yep.
And if it gets to that far, Tide Hunter can be like a big fog in a turn or taking over a lane.
So we
I
get
don't know. I think it's close.
we get into the first game here. Dane's got the Mist of Avernus, which of course, as we know, has been a powerhouse card in this tournament. And I actually love what he's done here. He's declined to use it round 1, even though he had the opportunity with Enchantress, because he wants to see where his creeps go to try to get a better Mist.
Yeah.
And we see Mogwai with the turn 1 Unearthed, also huge, although he does have 2 in the deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he has the opportunity to commit that to one of the lanes here. He can choose left or mid, or he could alternatively save it like Dane is doing with the Mist of Avernus. Kind of less important to do
It's
with
very
secrets.
unfortunate. You can see it's kind of punishing him that he doesn't have
Yeah,
two green heroes or another green hero coming in second, because it's kind of awkward when you're only green heroes in the last lane and you can't get that immediate value or like more flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Usually you see where it's going to get hit for sure this turn, and you place it there, but now creeps can spawn, like we see here, and he's not going to get the value, at least for now.
Yeah, that's very annoying for him, for sure.
Okay, so keep in mind, in this matchup, Mogwai's kind of got these sort of aggressive deck. It's a little sort of like Yoel's deck, where it's green and black, and trying to end the game a little bit earlier, whereas Dane is just setting up a wall. This is red and green. He's going to stay alive, keep his guys strong, and time is on Dane's side.
Yeah, it's like a red metagame. What's up with that?
Yeah. This Enchantress represents
Ooh,
a really...
the arrow.
Yeah,
It's
this
actually
bristleback curves
this
into this
is
Enchantress,
very, very big.
guaranteed. The Prowler Vanguard has the opportunity to save her here off of Dane.
You have to spend a card basically to just jump, which is super awkward. I feel
Yeah,
like.
and you lose the opportunity to
Very
Mist of
unfortunate.
Avernus as early as you might want to.
Ooh, but he actually has the counter in new orders. I guess it's not. I guess he gets 1 armor, so he actually survives from the Prowler Vanguard.
That's correct, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if Dane will... Would you just ever just miss here? In the third lane, of course, but...
I mean,
let the
I think I
Enchantress
would
die.
probably Vanguard.
you have the opportunity, but at the same time, like Bristle eating your Enchantress and just gaining free armor for the rest of the game is just too strong, I think. The new orders doesn't really threaten that much here. The 1 armor blocks both 1 damage off the Bristle and the creep. So if you're Mogwai, you're looking at the Stonehall Elite. If you're going for a lucky curve, he could curve into this creep. Does not get it. Stonehall, of course, is one of the strongest early units in the entire game. If this snowballs off of a melee creep it kills, it will just kind of carry over a lane.
Pretty good card to splash, but also like because it's so powerful and proactive, but also gets a little bit more awkward when you can choose which lane you want to play it in, because you really want to get it in front of a creep the first turn it comes down, so you can grow immediately. And if it grows, it very quickly gets out of hand, or it's a lot harder to stop basically when it has effectively 6 health with 2 armor and 4 health.
If you're Mogwai here, you might consider just using a proactive no accident on the Sven. Not really the best no accident you're looking for, but at the same time, you've got 2 in hand, and one of your black heroes is dying.
I don't know, I would kind of want to get away from this hand, so I kind of want to keep the Sven healthy because I have unearthed secrets.
Just bail out of the lane. It's a good lane to abandon on its secrets because you draw power.
That's what I'm thinking. But maybe he wants to make sure that Sven has to kind of... I don't know. This doesn't even help if he wants to come back with a black hero and no accident again, since Sven is on 4. So Sven is kind of safe here, honestly.
So Dane might be looking for the Mist of Avernus target here. He can choose to put it either in this lane. Puts it in this lane.
Okay.
And then Mogwai's got the Seder Duelist on the right side if you want to try to contest this lane a little bit more.
No harm will come to me.
Very interesting.
Yeah, we saw this before. It's like,
Yep, missed Burning Oil.
like if you do want to fight for this lane,
combination.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It cracks me up. I can't take it.
So Mogwai's got the Chen coming down. It's probably like his kind of most late game card in terms of his signature and active. And Chen is going to come in huge in this matchup. The ability to, on a forward turn cooldown, steal an enemy creep on something like an Ogre Conscript, a Red Mist Pillager even, could be game winning.
Yeah. These two creeps are very, very awkward. He doesn't get to draw a card for another turn from Unearthed Secrets, which is super awkward, honestly.
Yeah, it's not what you like to see when you have to commit Unearthed Secrets so early.
Do you guys think we're gonna see a Kraken Shell in mid lane, so he only takes 1 damage and can't be no accidented, and that way you have initiative in the last lane?
Yeah, he does have 2 different armors as well.
Yeah.
If he wants to play for initiative, he has the opportunity. Nasal Goo out on Tidehunter isn't bad, but at the same time, Tidehunter is a hero that you don't really mind just like leaving alone because it has so much health anyway.
That actually is huge that the Tidehunter landed in front of the Stone Hall. Now the Stone Hall can't grow.
Yep.
Yep. I think it's pretty big.
So if you're Dane, you're looking at this Red Mist Pillager, although playing it this early is kind of potentially punishable. Of course, we know that there's not as much that Mogwai can actually do with this hand. He just has Nasal Goo and New Orders as an option. Dane's just going to use Enchantress's signature, Verdant Refuge, buff up the armor on his mid.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really save any creeps in this lane, so it makes sense not to play it here. Kind of wondering, maybe I should play it in the last lane? No.
Yeah, I
guess
love
this
just stacking all the improvements in the same lane.
I guess it kind of, that's true. I guess this kind of works out instead of casting Kraken Shell. It's kind of the same thing, right?
So I like the Nasal Goo here because it allows the New Orders to kill the Enchantress. The most important thing about regen is it happens at the same exact time as combat. So even though it has 8 health and Bristle has 8 attack, without the minus armor, it does not represent lethal. Robert Mail is going to come in and save the Enchantress though.
I feel like that was super ambitious though, because
you see
he
the
knew Dane had
the
one.
3 items, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like you wasted a card in 8 damage there, killing a creep.
Yeah, we've actually seen players get a lot of value just saving the New Orders, just as long as it takes to get, like, even turn 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
making
To
huge
finish
plays.
the game or
Yeah.
get a crucial kill when it's unexpected.
So Dane develops the Red Mist Pillager. Now we've seen this card be kind of an absolute powerhouse. This has the ability to win the game on its own. Here, it will enable Mogwai to draw a card off of Unearthed Secrets. And I expect Mogwai's going to play Keenfolk Turret into this lane. Maybe no accident next turn to start shutting that down. Mogwai does have answers to this Pillager.
Yeah, I think you have to dedicate to Keenfolk Turret for sure.
Yeah,
Like
Keenfolk's got to come down. And then probably
way.
Phantom Assassin deploy mid with no accident.
Burning Oil is actually doing a lot of work here. It's going to take out the minions, and then he can overtake the board.
Yeah.
Burning Oil is it's a card that doesn't look like much. There's the turret.
Yeah, the card is pretty good. I think the card is pretty good. I
Very
just
solid.
don't usually use it this way.
Yeah, but if you actually look at the other lanes, though, he's never going to get value in the middle lane,
Yeah.
and his idea is that he's going to super defend the main lane as well.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if it's on the Red Mist Pillager plan, then for sure.
I'm sorry.
This
Oh,
is
and we have
exactly
a-
how you want to use Curse Stater.
Yeah, also, if it didn't die, we had a combo between that and Burning Oil, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be placed in front of the creeps all the time, I guess, but still though.
Not holding the Apotheosis, okay.
Ambitious holding.
So Treant right here for Mogwai, perhaps. He's going to go ahead and give up right. Now, whenever you can abandon a lane against 2 heroes, you might be able to pressure the other 2 lanes enough for that to be good. Very dangerous against Mist, though. Very, very dangerous, because this has ancient threat potential.
Yeah, there's a lot of ancient threat potential in Dane's deck, it seems like. Mist and Red Mist Pillager and like pretty big creeps overall.
So if Mogwai wants to try to abandon right lane, this is a very aggressive play. It puts this game on a clock. Mogwai is going to need to be able to take both left and mid in the next like 3 or 4 turns or so. And he's put no pressure on either tower
Still
yet.
an ambitious treat.
That tree dying, of course, to the retaliate damage from Enchantress.
Yep.
Yeah, with the Barb Mail. Legion Commander Mail.
What do you guys think of that card?
I think it's pretty poop.
How often do you actually buy it?
Never.
Never. Yeah.
I mean,
We've seen it a lot here.
I bought it in the Sacred Shop a couple of times.
Yeah.
But, and I do mean a couple of times.
yeah. It combines the worst aspects of short sword and leather armor.
Yeah.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, pretty much, I guess. Yeah, Retaliate doesn't really get that much better if you don't have minus armor. Then it's just like a worse attack because it comes from 2 sources, so it's easier to defend against with armor from on your own heroes. It's kind of, I don't know, high variance, I guess you could call it. Interesting. I guess it's gonna make sure he can protect one of his pillagers by. No, he doesn't even.
It doesn't
have
have
the
duel
potential.
to
Oh,
shut down anything.
yeah. This was weird.
Yeah, interesting.
For some
play.
reason I thought he had a green area to intimidate, but clearly he can't do that. Huh.
Yep. Taking initiative, but not too much to capitalize on it. Usually with initiative, you want to pair it with something that shuts down your opponent's plays.
I guess it makes sense if he's scared of coup de grace to be able to play his Ogre conscript before anything happens. But then again, if your opponent coup de grace your red hero here, then Muskets, the red pillager, isn't even good to play the Ogre conscript here. Like, it's not gonna win on its own. That was one of the most awkward initiative pickers I've seen ever.
Yeah, initiative into pass.
I think he realizes this, that
Maybe he just wanted the armor untied.
Yep.
possible.
I think he realized after he committed to this play that Mogwai has Slay, and now he's changing his plan. He wants to make sure Mogwai uses his mana before the conscript comes down.
I feel like there's a high chance that he wants to play around coup, but actually playing around coup by playing Ogre isn't even good, because the Ogre isn't good to commit here if Sven dies.
Yes.
Then Mogwai just wins this lane anyways, Ogre conscript or not. And also he's gonna start to draw cards from conscript, and then he can block it at some point. Yeah.
I don't know. To me, this looks like a bit of a bad lane for Mogwai. I mean, I love the idea of just abandoning a 2-hero lane. Like, this right lane is doing very, very little for Dane, but Dane's deck has such powerful defensive capabilities. I feel like Mogwai's not going to be able to punch through these other 2 lanes in time. Tidehunter's Ravage is coming up.
Although he does have Shen there, and Shen is a master at winning a lane that's kind of defensive from both sides. Like, it's...
That's very true. The conscript is just not able to come down on the left side.
Yeah.
So both Tidehunter and Shen have powerful 4-turn cooldown actives, and they are both online this turn. Dane has the initiative, so he can... We are probably going to see the Ravage coming out now. Stuns Riley, stuns Chen, 50% chance to stun the Bristleback. Gotta tap that first.
And the creeps as well, working potentially on all opposing units.
Yep. Yeah, so something cool you can do here is you can just slap the Ogre conscript in front of the Chen, kills the Chen before the Chen can steal it.
I love it.
That delays the cooldown of Sven's ability.
Although the town portal is going to be pretty big against that.
Town portal is then the counterplay.
Yep.
Yes.
So even though Mogwai is stunned out of his entire hand, the one item he can play here is Town Portal Scroll because it's colorless. So I think we will see that happen. The conscript threatens the Chen, and the Town Portal makes Chen come back here next round to steal it.
And then Mogwai is super strong in the first lane, but then can he win the second lane?
I think so,
He's got Hand of God.
Yeah, I think so.
I think for a little pressure.
I don't think you want to intimidate though. You kind of don't want Sven to interfere in the other lane, pushing 80 faster. Or I think Dane's best chance is to push 80 in the last lane. I don't think he can win this lane, and it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely that Sven gets there too. Maybe he plays around the town portal.
I like it.
At the same time, we'll play into Slay here.
The Ogre here, yeah. So you're just gonna drop the Ogre in the third
you
lane.
can put the Ogre in the last lane, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
A little more pressure.
If your plan is to 80 anyways, like, go for it. Go nuts. Just play it where there's no black hero.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, you do see these Slays in Mogwai's deck. He's got 2 of them.
Interesting. Okay.
So proactive Hand of God, that kind of locks Mogwai out of plays. He's
Mogwai
got the
missing
turret.
Another proc from the Unearthed. That sounds bad.
Yeah.
He's drawn like 1 or 2.
When you've got the Unearthed secrets,
one only,
and your opponent's hero just randomly curves into yours, denying you the draw.
So the Unearthed secrets was just a spot weakness, just 3 mana draw 1.
Yep. So far.
Yikes.
Something will grow where
Yikes, indeed.
Dane with the infinite patience on the Ogre conscript.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good play, honestly. It depends, though. We'll see if he casts it or not, and like maybe TP's back a hero or whatever here. Then I don't like it as much, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest decision for Dane. Do you try to pressure this as if this is your win condition, or do you TP to try to defend and maybe even push something else?
I mean, I think you have to.
I kind of like dropping the conscript and then taking the Legionnaire out, but you said you didn't like that.
No,
I'm
I would have taken the. I think I would have taken the Farman out and tried to go on mid lane because I don't think you can win left ever.
Yeah.
I think with the he hasn't been able to use the duel with his Sven or Tidehunter, but I guess he's
True.
okay with that.
But all this green in hand
Yeah.
that you're locked out of mid if you TP the Legion instead. I do really like enabling green in both left and right, or left and mid if you're Dane.
Yeah, I agree. Sure, duel is fine, but then again, you're killing a tree and can't really duel the PA, right?
So
So,
Dane gets
I don't know.
right pretty much for free at this point, and now it's just a complete brawl fest in both of these other two lanes. Holy Persuasion is up, but there's no big creep to take.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Just leave that off cooldown. It prevents your opponent from even playing anything.
Yeah.
You don't need to steal a creep.
I
Or
agree.
you don't need to steal a 2/4.
I saw Enchantress down.
Good initiative play. Locks Dane out of green.
Yeah, luckily he got that Farman in the mid lane, otherwise this would be... He would almost not cast anything this entire turn. So, personal knowledge first, if you want to sequence correctly. Because
Order lol.
Dane is just passing back priority, so might as well take that to draw a card, since it's 3, basically. What do you guys want to cast there? I don't even know.
Intimidating Tide is not terrible if it goes right, but it's
I
pretty
think
risky.
you want the Tide here because you already
Yeah.
have 3 heroes. You don't want to have 3 to 0 unless you're going for the Ancient, which I think you're losing the Ancient War against Miss. Actually,
Yeah, I agree.
maybe not because there's only 2. Is he just going to go for the Ancient?
It's
Maybe.
possible.
But even so, I think you want the Tide here for now.
I agree. I think you want to finish off with Intimidate. I think it's going to give you more, because Tide is not really threatening anything, right?
Exactly.
You can just play all your units, and then when Enchantress comes back, just bounce her away. Or something here.
There's one intimidation. Mogwai's locked out of green.
Okay, so
Well, now you're kind of locked
Mogwai's-
into a
yeah.
Ancient.
So Mogwai, yeah, its only plan here is to kill the Ancient.
Yeah, I
so-
mean, having 4 heroes stranded in the same lane is awkward, but Mogwai does have both a Town Portal Scroll as well as Intimidation, which can be played on your own heroes, but it's pretty
It's
risky
so
if it's going
slow,
right.
you know.
yeah, no, I
It
think
takes
I
such
think
a
he
long
is committed to the just going for it.
Okay.
Well, he might not be committed, but we think it's correct at least
Yeah.
to commit
Oh,
to
seeing
that.
both hands, yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Disciple of Nevermore is very scary for that threat. Dane can't do too much about that. Tidehunter is
sure.
dying with Ravage on cooldown, so now all Mogwai has to do is just defend mid while his 4 heroes push left.
Which is actually kind of hard as a PA.
Yep. Drawing coup next turn would help quite a bit.
I understand
Yeah, it's like
my orders.
doesn't want to throw this Vandal to block because he wants the pressure in the main lane. So he kind of doesn't have any plays. Same idea with the Disciple.
I think you can kill the Legionnaire with Slay, though. Like, it slows
Yeah.
Dane's possibility to kill this
Legionnaire
thing
is
so
actually
much.
huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess you can always kill it with Musket next turn, but...
And one of the biggest things about this situation is the Spring the Trap in Mogwai's hands. One of the more powerful cards in red. The fact that this is lane, you can cast this independent of the lane you're in, means you will be able to defend mid this lane from left.
Yeah, very good defensive card. Pretty good offense as well. So
There's
however you
4-8
want to use
stat
it.
line on these 2 centaurs.
Yeah, I'm not against casting it in the same lane.
Yeah.
It's good statted for the mana, right?
Not at all.
That's some 8-16 right there for 7.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
bad.
this is exactly what Mogwai needs in this situation. He will be playing this next turn. So the question is, what does Dane do about it?
Let us rephrase. It's what you always want in every situation. when you're at 7 mana. It's Spring the Trap is a large bomb, and that has a lot to do with that it's so hard to be mobile in draft, and that's why Blink Dagger is also so good in draft, etc. And Town Portal becomes much better, etc.
Temporals is sick. I wish I
Yeah.
could put him in my deck.
For sure. Intimidate is also big because it's so hard for your opponent to bring their hero back.
And Dane just has this Legion, unfortunately not doing too much. It's going to be stuck in this right lane by its lonesome.
As we
Have we
see
seen
that,
a shop
Town
beat
Portal's
this
picked
tournament?
up.
Yep, Town Portal Scroll by Dane.
Mm-hmm.
This will rescue this Legion. So, Mogwai has a lot of options on this left lane. He's probably going to want to Disciple of Nevermore, but not
Nope.
necessarily yet. I'd like
Can you
to
check
see
if he has
Spring the Trap.
another Disciple in the deck?
Mogwai's
For that 80
deck
potential.
has
He does have
2
2.
Disciples, which
Yeah.
is ridiculous. I mean, this card we've seen do a pretty filthy amount of work in the past 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving you just that threat of ancient potential in the same way that Mist of Avernus does.
It's just a great late game card that in a pinch you can play it early game if you need to.
So I
Even
think you
players with
also,
Legionnaire.
yeah, I think you cast Legionnaire. Like, you don't have to deal I like that he's kind of splitting his attention to make sure he doesn't die that quickly in mid lane, because
There's the rend armor value.
because it doesn't really matter if he overkills the tower, as he will get the fortification once the tower is down, and then next turn he can play all the kind of, as we're saying it in MTG terms, overrun effects, like Disciple of Nevermore, that buffs all your units in one big swing. Like you kind of want to play all the cards that scale this turn, and then next turn you kind of want to try to finish.
I don't mind him playing it now though, because now he can play the Agloti, the Assassins, and the Disciple next turn.
Yeah, no, I agree
is that
that
what
you
you're
should
saying?
definitely play it. Yeah. Huh. Oh. Okay.
Could
so
just be a little juke.
I'm
Actually, no, it's
I'm
not
a
a
fan of this Town Portal scroll, actually. Chen's ability is not necessarily, again, the mind control and the creep. It's not really going to be important in the offensive lane. This lane at this point is kind of going to win itself with the help of Disciple. And Chen's ability to steal a creep might be useful here if he's playing around Dane, dropping something a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so the Chen isn't going to speed up his clock by a turn in the left turn, but it can certainly slow down the clock of the opponent by 1 or 2 or
That
3
buys
turns.
him more time.
Yeah, it could speed it up one turn, but it's very unlikely, right?
Yeah.
It's just more safe.
And it's
to
definitely going to slow down Dane one
especially
turn
in the
and then
last
going.
lane, right? He can,
Yeah.
if he's scared of the Asian race, but I don't think he is.
Yep.
I don't think he is.
See the Sucker Punch card in Dane's hand. Very powerful situationally, but unfortunately, if there's not a hero opposed, directly opposed from your red hero, it's not really going to do that much.
Yep.
See the Keenfolk turret. This has actually been putting in work. This
Yeah,
has been,
actually like it a lot in this
Turret is
red-green
great.
deck. It's a very slow deck.
I like it in my deck too.
Yeah, well, we saw it doing a lot of work for you as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
2 piercing damage will threaten this Hellbear Crippler going right through its armor.
You kind of love all the cards that help you win a lane without actually putting a hero there. I think that's kind of big game in draft, especially. That you can like put a miss somewhere, have a few creeps there, and then you can dedicate everybody else in another lane. I think that's kind of big, because that way it's easier to not overcommit into one lane, etc. So
I mean, Mogwai looks like he's in a very favorable position. Dane has a hard time getting through this wall of centaurs here.
yeah, I think this is a patience duel though.
Yes.
He wants Mogwai to play as many cards as possible, so you can like duel PA, so it then dies from the combat damage. But we know that's not gonna happen with the Fountain Flask. The patient duel. Could also kind of rebel decoy the Sven if he wants to cleave the PA a little bit, make it easier.
Not the biggest slay, but he figures he has the Chen coming in to steal anything next turn.
Yeah.
You don't really need to kill a creep when you can
Yeah,
just
could it even be a
steal it.
bait? Just play your
Actually,
4
putting
drop.
Shen in last lane is kind of scary, right? This ogre is like so big soon.
Actually, yeah, the tower's only
Yeah.
at 23.
No, that
Yeah.
is a potential win condition here. I don't think he's going to need to go for it here with how kind of things are working left to lane. Especially if you kill this Tidehunter next turn, when the Ravage is just 1 turn from cooldown, that is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
So it's up to Dane to figure out how he wants to pressure this. Even though Dane is normally the deck that kind of like gets better over time in this matchup, Mogwai is in this situation where, you know, the pressure's on Dane.
Definitely.
The shadows will protect us.
Assassin's
okay.
Apprentice. A little bit of damage and the potential to just
I would
block
definitely swap here though.
Tear
Okay,
it down.
so there it is. I like swapping here. Kind of surprised he doesn't swap Rebel.
Decoy and Sven would allow Sven to, for free, cleave this Assassin's Apprentice, killing it.
Yeah.
Dane's passing.
Now I like dueling. Now I like swapping and dueling in even more, because now you know the P is gonna die if it does that. Yeah, I think that was big. Maybe he wants to duel this creep to pressure 80 faster.
It's a possibility. He's
I
got
can see that.
he's got a really hard time though trying to race this. He's got a Town
Alright,
Portal
just
scroll out and play
giving
defensive.
it up. Now I really like putting the Shen here.
Yeah.
Seems great,
I
right?
I do not mind that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Mogwai has every possibility. Chen going either mid or right looks very good.
Maybe not. Maybe
Yeah, I
it's
don't
just
mind
too
this.
scary mid.
This is just the safe line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no reason to take a risk and go right. So Dane presumably will quad mid. This is the most important lane here, and he basically needs to try to kill this lane in 2 turns.
Priority here is gonna be pretty big for that Shen and duel.
Initiative. Initiative right now is held by Mogwai. He can play first in both of these lanes.
And this initiative play actually makes it way harder to 80 and Dane faster. I guess he can kind of 80 if he just passes here and Dane doesn't play anything too relevant.
Hipfire is also a great draw. It allows
That's
Mogwai
true.
to develop more pressure with Disciple, and then after that, take initiative back, which he normally can't otherwise do.
Yeah, and
You
it's
could
gonna be
goo
hard for.
into Hipfire if there's no potion from Dane.
Yeah, I like that play, for sure. Or maybe just develop like Swim said. You can also do that because there's a chance that when Mogwai starts to develop, that Dane just keeps on passing, because he wants to keep the initiative in the last lane, and then when you have, you know, all of your stuff out, you can Hipfire.
Yeah, I like this line of play a lot better.
Nothing will deny me.
Disciple will curve with Hipfire. You've got 7 mana left. Disciple in this lane just puts out pressure, and then Hipfire to just force Dane to react. Now, the scary thing is, if you're Mogwai when you're deciding this line of play, there's a chance Dane has the Kraken Shell to steal initiative back.
See how you're
But you know he's going to get rewarded for this.
No, I think this was a big misplay.
Really?
What happens if he plays the creeps in front of that Disciple? He's not gonna deal another 40
or
next turn.
duel.
Yeah, this is big, I think. Like if Dane, elects to play Bronze Legionnaire,
he does
there's
have the
just no
Hipfire.
way.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But now
Hipfire
Dane
cleans
can
that up.
actually duel the creep, and it's actually correct, I think.
Yeah.
I think you definitely have to here. 100%.
Yeah, so huge
But now we
punish
can't
from
duel.
Mogwai.
Now we can't duel Shen though in the mid lane.
Yeah.
It's true as well.
Because Shen, while being buffed with 3, I think Legion has like 10 attack or something. With the 2 retaliate, I think that's enough still to get the Shen.
I've seen a lot of high impact duels from the 2 attack Tidehunter in this series in the last.
Really?
Yeah. Or from whenever Dane's
Nice.
playing, basically.
So
Even
Mogwai-
11 attack,
Mogwai
yeah.
can do whatever he wants here. Intimidating the
I love
Legion Commander.
that. I love it.
He's playing around Sucker Punch perfectly. Legion Commander is the one right in front of Phantom Assassin.
But especially another duel, right? For
Yeah.
the Shen.
Yes.
Now Dane can't really play in a big units, even if he had them. Can also get the Rebel Decoy here. It's not too bad, honestly.
Mogwai can do, I mean, just whatever he wants. Taking Rebel Decoy feels pretty good. Another Intimidation.
okay.
Is this going right? This is also going right.
Yeah, so I think if you take the Decoy here, you can almost push for this lane.
Yeah, that's really
Which
nasty
is
for Dane.
crazy, yeah.
I mean, he spent a ton of Portal Scroll just trying to get out of this lane, and now both heroes are stuck there again. Intimidation has kind of been the MVP of this tournament a little bit. Yoel, you were saying earlier in your
Yeah.
series is that it had been very, very good
It's
for you.
very, very good for me, yeah. Especially good if you're
Mogwai
good at putting on pressure.
Running the clock.
Oh yeah,
Big
Mogwai.
win condition for
Mogwai
Dane
is down
is just
to
to clock
6
Mogwai
seconds.
at this point.
Yep. Keep in mind, this is effectively a chess clock. If you run out of time, you do lose the game.
Yeah.
So Mogwai's got to be very careful with that.
I do think it gets refreshed though with like 1 second for every play you make when it's down to 1.
Yes. And
Yeah,
you
or
get
0 or
a
something.
minute every round.
Yeah.
And I believe the actual shop time right there does not count, so you can actually view the board and get a little bit of additional time if you want. Pro tip.
There's a separate, yeah,
But
exactly. There's a
at this
separate,
point, yeah.
there's a separate clock on the shop basically.
But this point right here does drain your bonus time.
Yep.
So we'll see Mogwai's clock will only go up less than a minute. Or is it a minute 30 again? We'll see.
So with this Disciple down, Mogwai needs to draw into the other Disciple if he wants to kill this Ancient this round. If he gets it, it's over. A Gloaty pushes, but it's not necessarily enough.
So he has 10 more damage, right?
Yep.
That's not enough.
With the
That's
short
only
sword as
49.
well.
Alright.
He's 12.
So 51 then.
But it is not enough. This will take 2 turns to go down. And the Tidehunter will drop from Dane, but...
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Ravage
It's so
isn't gonna
important
work.
that it's in first lane, right?
Yep.
If it was swapped around, then the double red hero would be in the first lane. Maybe he could push Ancient first,
Let's
but
get to work, sister.
since the first lane will always happen before the last, that turn can be 1 turn slower always.
Exactly. This is one of the fundamentals of Artifact. Left lanes are kind of inherently stronger just because they go first.
Yep.
And in race situations, that will matter.
I share the wisdom of my people.
Mogwai's just applying a little pressure here. I mean, Dane
Well, it's
can...
lethal, right, with the Aglotti.
Yeah. It's
Dane
eight-
has
eight
a
more.
Rebel
decoy
decoy.
to block only,
Yep.
Can't stop the
which is
race.
enough.
I would advise to playing it.
Yeah, you will have to.
Maybe I'm going to save it for next game.
I'm willing to die for what I believe.
Yep.
Are you?
And Mogwai does not have lethal here anymore.
But that's fine.
Yep. Mogwai has the inevitability left, and there's just nothing Dane can do with that. You've got the Tidehunter coming back down, and he even has Ravage. Technically. You'll gets me. Yeah. It could stun every unit. It's possible.
I can't leave
Yeah, what is the actual life total of the first lane?
Actually, a lot of.
How much damage can it let through?
It's actually so close in this lane. Wow.
Yeah, 1 damage off. The first lane is down to 17, so this Ravage needs to be pretty good.
Does he have initiative right now? He has to. Yeah.
It's not that insanely unlikely.
He also the middle tower's at 1.
Yeah,
so
the middle tower's at
problem.
1.
Come on, be positive.
All right. Huge Ravage coming out.
You
here.
gotta believe, my friend. You gotta believe. There can be some hero arrows as well. There's potentials here.
Here's this Ravage. So Ravage gets guaranteed 3 stuns for the adjacent units.
And you can tell which ones are stunned based on the animation. So if you just watch the animation here, we need the spikes to hit everything.
We need to see a lot of tentacles here.
And Tidehunter's away from all the hero. Well, it doesn't matter. He needs to hit him anyway.
Disciple is drawn. He needs to stun almost everything on this lane. Let's see it.
Misses the green hero, but that's the best one to miss.
That's the best one to miss. It's down to 8. Wait! What? Mogwai doesn't have this!
Oh my
it's stunned
God.
enough!
That's insane.
Unbelievable.
No potion knowledge. Mogwai has the
Uglodi here
ability
is
to lethal mid. Almost. Almost. Dane did actually have the right ancient.
Very anticlimactic.
One more turn otherwise.
Very anticlimactic. Very anticlimactic.
Yeah. So Intimidation and Disciple just putting in a ton of work for Mogwai there. That double Intimidation, stranding 2 heroes in the right lane.
Yeah. I wish I had that many Uglodi Vandals. That'd be nice.
4? Yeah, 4's a lot. 4's good.
4's good. Yeah.
It's a lot of rocks.
They don't really get worse in multiples, you know.
Yeah.
No, not really. No, I mean, they're fine to play even as just a proactive 4-drop.
No, for sure.
Great creep combat stats.
Love it.
So I really like the idea of just kind of like abandoning lanes, intimidating heroes. We've seen that kind of do very well on Artifact so far. Ooh, looks like they're getting into the next game already.
Spicy.
So, Mogwai is up 1 game. If he wins this, he will go against Yol in the finals. Dane has to win 2 more.
Mogwai, the end boss. Possibly.
John the Disciple early. It's what you like to see.
It is?
Well, not necessarily turn 1, but you have security.
Okay.
I've casted turn 1
Yeah,
before.
you can cast it turn 1.
It has happened.
Oh.
It doesn't happen often, but it has happened. I'm not above it.
Yep. I do like the idea of a proactive rebel decoy.
Sure.
I'll give my life.
Feels
Gets the
good.
arrow.
That's absolutely
master.
what you like to see.
What
That's
a
a
master.
good artifact player right there.
I mean, you might as well take the shot if you don't want to play it in any other lane, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Mogwai's hitting his
So
Rose
where's
Leaf.
Farvin going? I assume in the first lane.
Yeah, first
There
lane
you
makes
go.
the most sense. Debbie
Blocked.
fights for mid.
Yeah, it blocks Debbie very well too, right? If he puts Debbie there, Debbie actually only deals 9 with its ability, and then Sven cleaves for 2, meaning that Farvin will win that battle with the help of Sven. So.
Yep. If it goes in front of Farvin.
Yeah. Which makes it so that Farvin is for sure safe in the left lane.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
at the same time, Enchantress is the
50-50.
kind of hero which you can kind of just abandon. It's a very scary hero to try to play against if you
Yeah.
can't really keep it down.
That's why Enchantress is so good in draft, because it so often wins its lane by its own, because it makes it so that your creeps become tougher. And it also has a card that can be played globally, since it's an improvement, so it can help other lanes also. So the way you want to often win an artifact is use as few resources as possible to win one lane,
Yeah.
and commit as little as possible at all times, and then kind of contest the other 2 lanes. It opens up a lot more flexibility and choices for you.
Wow, Mogwai playing the Roseleaf Druid out of the Tree aura and right into the Farvran aura.
I think that's fine, honestly.
Yeah.
downside
I
is
think
The
you
tree's
want to be
dying
able to
anyways, so
combat.
he's not gonna get the aura.
Yeah, you're gonna get back here at some point, I feel like.
You're safe with me, Enchantress.
Prowler Vanguard kind of taking the same position as last time, just peeling the bristleback off of the Enchantress. So what are you looking for here if you're Mogwai? I mean, you have the
Do we have a
pick-off.
pick-off? Not really.
No amazing targets. It's not piercing, and this Sven does have that 1 armor here.
Yeah,
Farming
effects like
didn't work.
pick-off. It's actually just going to get worse, too, as the Verdant Refuge get developed.
Yes.
Yeah.
black spells are pretty weak against armor most of the time.
I think I would kill the rebel decoy. Push for 9.
Yep. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Don't. Yeah.
I mean,
that's good.
Mogwai is basically the aggressor. You've got to kind of go fast and end the game early.
It doesn't have to be the aggressor though, right?
Yes.
But his hand is very aggressive, so it plays out pretty well to try to be aggressive.
One of the big win conditions Dane has is Red Mist Pillager. We saw this get shut down by Folk Turret in the last game.
Interesting.
But if no answer comes down for this, then this game goes completely differently.
Do you think that was just a miss? Like, I
What
think
did
it
he
was
pick
the
this
wrong
man down
play,
to?
but do you think it was just that he missed that? Or is he just hoping there's gonna be that creep spawn and that kills the Sven? It seems super ambitious.
It's a good question. I mean, I don't think he would have missed that interaction, but at the same time, maybe he is just hoping for a creep spawn.
It's a lot of... You gotta remember there's so many things to think about in artifacts, so sometimes you just miss the basics.
Yeah.
Because there's so much
Yeah.
like deep things to think about.
Especially when we have the caster vision, we're not thinking of what cards they're actually playing around.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
So Mogwai is deploying the Chen. In this case, all players are mostly fighting for all 3 lanes.
I think if you cast pick off there and knows it's gonna survive, I think you are planning to commit there with the Shen.
For sure.
Otherwise, it's just a card you throw away.
Yeah, unfortunately with the Traveler's Cloak, Dane will survive from the Chen.
Yep.
What Mogwai really wants is an opportunity to get the Stonehall Elite out. Both players have very high value creeps that they're trying to enable. Dane's looking for the Red Mist Pillager to hit tower, and Mogwai is looking for an opportunity for Stonehall Elite to hit a creep so that they can both snowball a lane out of control.
I remember you can always play your own creeps proactively against Red Mist Pillager. You don't really have to wait, because if there's only one open slot, you have to place it in front of that creep. So if you want to cast it, it has to be in front of the open Rose Leaf Druid, because that's the only place you can place creeps right now, and then it's kind of useless.
Yes.
So this kind of works out. Okay. Well, I guess we're planning to Hand of God next turn.
And Dane does have the opportunity to Sucker Punch. It doesn't really do anything here. He might be trying to play for initiative next turn. This is a card that's kind of dangerous to hold on to too long, because it can be kind of hard getting value out of it later with even 3 red heroes.
I do like holding onto it here, though.
Yeah, could be useful against this Bristle.
You could argue it is good to hold on to it, because once you get to those 8-9 mana turns,
Exactly,
you're shutting
yeah.
down multiple cards.
Yeah, I
potential
think it's
enemies.
even better to cast next turn, because Shen is not going anywhere until next turn, so if you shut it off then it's almost for sure gonna die that turn also, and also shut off all the cards.
Yep. Looks like there's kind of not too much for Mogwai to do except for maybe cloak something. This is just not the kind of situation you want to play this Disciple of Nevermore.
Yeah. Stonehall Elite also gets worse over time when there's more verdant refugees spreading out. It's gonna be harder and harder to kill opposing melee creeps with it and making it grow faster.
Yeah, it snowballs half as fast. What
Yeah.
is that armor?
Your rebellion ends here.
Yeah.
Just tossing it out.
Interesting.
Maybe he wants to keep this Bristleback healthy, I guess.
Yeah, could be. Not accomplishing too much, but it's not a board state where you can really do too much with Stonehall Elite.
Well,
I mean, it feels
and
like
then we see the 06 come down. That's the perfect target to put Stonehall in front of.
Yes.
But it would have probably never been played until we saw this come out.
Until it's there, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Dane is just trying to go a little bit wide here so they can enable the Red Mist Pillager as soon as possible.
Yep.
Like to have it being played outside of the creep spawns.
Yeah, both players are trying to kind of just find a lane that the other player abandons to threaten Ancient. Because abandoning is a very powerful strategy, but also very punishable. Mogwai has the double Disciple in hand, which we saw punished last game with, and Dane has the Red Mist Pillager.
Yeah.
Dropping a Disciple here is not bad.
We gotta remember also with the Stonehall Elite that Mogwai only has 1 red hero, which is Bristleback. And I don't think Bristleback is going anywhere anytime close.
Oh, that's a good, I didn't notice it was just a splash.
Yeah. Well, this is an awkward arrow with the Retaliate.
Saw this happen last game as well. Disciple curving right into Legion Commander.
Just
Insta-dodge
slurps
to
it up.
Retaliate.
Slurpy slurp. Well, he does have initiative now. Did he get a short sword? Okay, that's pretty big.
Yep.
That means he can play around fountain flasks and more equipments on the Shen. And stun it, and I guess not really. If he stuns it, he goes up to 9 again. So then Sven can only attack for 7.
It feels very much like Dane is kind of more so in the driver's seat of this game. I mean, Mogwai has these 2 coups, and you can do a lot with that. But at this point in time, Dane's hand feels stronger.
Actually, do you guys like putting Treant on the left?
I don't mind it. You get the
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
Um,
Armor is big, right? Because it also plays around God strength.
Yes.
You can make it survive
Maybe you want
because
the
it's
Hand of
very
God in the
important
middle
that
lane,
Hand
though.
of God happens.
Yeah. Hand of God middle might be very
Yeah,
important.
That's an overstack.
This
That's
is
free.
playing it right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the other thing that makes sense, I think. I don't think you can contest mid, really. Like, you with those 2 creeps, it's just going to take so long before you can actually get an attack in.
Yeah.
And he hasn't dealt a single damage. There's also the Verdant Refugee, the regeneration from Enchantress. There's just so many problems in mid.
Yeah, Tidehunter and Enchantress are both heroes that represent just putting up this wall, but at the same time not really doing too much pressure, so you can't just kind of leave them be.
Yeah. With the way this played out, this stun is going to be pretty big, I think.
Yeah, so kind of big. He didn't pick up the Fountain Flask. He opted for the Cloak instead, which isn't going to be enough to save him. But he might feel like it is right now. But
Yeah.
of course, the Short Sword is going to get him.
Yeah, and also, regardless of that, if he puts Treant here, that he's also fine, because not only does it not take damage, and he can save it with Cloak, but he can also Hand of God from the Treant, because then he has another green hero here. to
Yeah,
cast it with.
I don't think he was. Yeah, he probably wasn't playing around Sucker
So
Punch though.
If you're Mogwai, ooh, I love holding on to this cloak.
Yeah,
if you're Mogwai,
that's smart actually.
yeah, you see Dane just bought 2 3 gold items. One of the things you can do in Artifact is kind of track the opponent's gold, see what they bought. 2 3 gold items, and you see 3 short swords in the deck because you see what your opponent's running, electing to save the Traveler's Cloak for the Debbie mid instead.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very heads-up play by Mogwai.
Right. So, I guess you're kind of giving up this lane?
Yep.
I don't know if you can do that, though.
Oh, that's true as
that's
well.
the issue here. Like, I feel like your hand is so constricted by... You have so many good black cards, and you have to kind of start casting them with the Phantom in the last lane. Which means you're not going to cast a green card with that Treant anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So I'm a huge fan of this coup. Triggers Barroom Brawler, but unfortunately the random card it discarded was the 1/6 Traveler's Cloak, which forced the Debbie to die there.
You can see right there.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's
No, okay,
it's a
no
little
animation.
bugged there.
Yeah, you can see the little text there, though.
Yep.
It says discarded card.
Coup is a card where normally the random discard often doesn't really end up mattering that much, but when it does, it very much hurts, and Mogwai is unhappy to see that discard on the card that was meant to keep his Debbie alive.
Yep.
At the end of the day, though, he's probably happier than discarding, say, another coup in a Tim or a Hand of God.
Really? I don't know what happened here.
That's
Can somebody fill me in?
an interesting duel.
I don't know either.
I
guess you-
get OTP.
Dude, this this is worse than Ghetto TP. This is something else.
Yeah, I mean this is a scary lane all of a sudden. That's a duel right into the Treants, and now this lane is kind of out of control. That's a
Well,
big
yeah.
turn for Mogwai.
Yeah, that lane is lost. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm
Let me
trying to
see
figure it
Mogwai's
out.
deck list. What was he afraid of? And
But-
Tim comes to mind, but that's a TP anyways.
It's a
I don't
T-
know.
Yeah, I can't think. Like, if you just pass, you cannot do the same thing to the Treant. Like,
Yeah.
is he afraid of changing position with that Treant kind of teleports away and makes it so that I don't even know. Okay, I'm gonna stop speculating.
So
And say he made a mistake.
Mogwai has one right lane now in a way that will demand Dane's attention. Dane can't just give this up because it will win the Ancient with the Disciple of Nevermore. So he'll have to drop something like a Tidehunter there.
Yep, sounds about right.
That is
But also,
basically
Mogwai is
Tidehunter's
gonna
job,
have
just as stall
some.
anyways.
Yeah. Mogwai is gonna have some issues
Oh,
killing
That's
another
feels bad.
lane.
that feels very,
Finally
very
gets to
bad.
drop the Red Mist.
Yeah, Red Mist Pillager only goes off when it's able to go directly into the opponent's tower. Normally, you're usually happy to see a curve. This is one of those cases where you're very, very unhappy to see it.
Yeah, I guess.
This gives Mogwai a chance to kind of retaliate. For example, Debbie coming down into this lane, maybe slaying the Red Mist Pillager, or potentially abandoning it.
Abandoning Red
Yeah,
Mist?
this is abandoning a Red Mist on left lane is probably
I
just
don't
a
know,
little
my
too
friend.
risky.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're Mogwai, you kind of have the inevitability on right lane, unless something is dropped and kind of starts cleaning things up.
Very surprised when we play this personal knowledge yet.
Yeah, if nothing else, Chen has the steal. And since the Red Mist was... You can see how huge it was that the Red Mist wasn't able to multiply, because now Chen can just steal that one, and then the Red Mists are shut off.
Yes. It's even not impossible that a steal plus something that enables the red mist to kind of go face on Mogwai's end ends up turning this around.
Like, say, a Hand of God that keeps it alive, gets the trade,
Mm.
and then Hand of God again the next turn, and then, yeah.
Sorting up the Enchantress. Got the Intimidation as well, but a little too afraid to use it. With Intimidation, it's a tricky card to use because it's a random other lane, and very often when you're looking at using this card, one of the outcomes is bad for you and one of the outcomes is good for you. So the trick with Intimidation is finding the situation where both outcomes are pretty good for you.
And honestly, this Bristleback's not doing anything in this lane anyways.
Yes.
It's being blocked by creeps, so that's exactly what you want.
But it's kind of nice though that, like, we don't usually see these other secret being so good late game, but if you actually put them both in the mid lane, like that. Okay. If you would have put them both in the mid lane,
Interesting.
that deck, or I mean, sorry, not that deck, but that lane doesn't. There's not a lot of damage being dealt. Like, there's not a lot of pressure being dealt. And putting heroes there is kind of hard because Bristleback is blocking one of the positions every turn. So that means continuously that that lane will not have a lot of pressure on it. So I think the Unearthed Circus could trigger many times before it actually matters that you take damage. That's
I
what
think
I'm
what
thinking.
this play from Mogwai is saying is that he's... Okay, I don't understand. I thought he's going to steal the red mist, and then that's the only defense he's going to put, and then fight for the middle lane?
He can still do this. I mean, the left board on Dane is wide enough that this Unearthed Secrets is still probably going to be able to get off.
Yeah.
At the same reason.
Yeah, it depends where the steal from the pillager
yeah.
lands.
If it's in front of Farman,
And he actually doesn't even have to steal the pillager if he doesn't want to, because now it's going to die to a creep.
it is scary though if he has to remove for it. But then
Dane
again,
has
red-green, not
initiative.
used. Not usually isn't.
Yeah,
known for
intimidation and
its-
duel are about it.
Yeah.
Bellow.
Yeah.
Intimidation to send the Chen away is a very, very powerful card here. You got to be thinking about that if you're Dane. That's kind of the play on initiative.
Yeah, I think he's thinking if he can keep his pillager alive, he'll intimidate the Chen for sure, but I don't... Yeah, and he can with
Rebel
the decoy.
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There is a slay
So-
in hand, unfortunately, but, you know. Or even a glory.
Shen going mid is pretty big. And this Unearthed Secrets kind of worked out just because... Only because Dane had an intimidation. Otherwise, it would have been pretty bad, I think.
So if Mogwai wants to save this Debbie, he does need to save mana for a unit to play to the right, blocking it here.
You don't... do you just pass here?
Yeah, you could. It's not necessarily relevant. You're looking at a lot of different things right now if you're Mogwai. You're thinking about, do I want initiative in this mid lane?
Yeah.
Because so much of the game is going to come down to what happens mid, right? I mean, being able to use Intimidation, lock one of the colors out of being able to cast spells, as well as like Hand of God to just prevent your board from being messed with.
Yeah, I thought about this play too, but I don't like
Once
it.
done.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. He just wants to stall the game out more. He knows he has that inevitability in the right lane,
Yep.
so maybe he just wants to defend both lanes.
You've got the Apprentice.
I just feel like you could put the Apprentice here and then save your Debbie.
Mhm.
And you can't really use Duel on Sven anyways,
Oh.
because then it trades versus Debbie.
Yeah, now he cannot slay the
Exactly, that's
pillager,
what I'm
which is
thinking.
huge.
But he
Oh,
can
does
put
have the
Assassin Apprentice
okay.
in front of it.
Yep.
But I still don't like the coup, because now Debbie dies anyways. So it's like, this Assassin's Apprentice could have saved the Debbie for a turn.
I'm okay, though. He's slowing the game down quite a bit by
Yeah.
killing that Sven, and he's going to get all those cards off Unearthed.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me rephrase. He's accomplishing what he's trying to do, but I
Mhm.
felt like there was an
Yeah.
more efficient way to do that.
So, both eyes on Shen's Holy Persuasion. Even stealing something weaker like Rebel Decoy with the active ability, just swinging sides on the board, is
If
relevant.
your goal is to stall, do you ever just steal the Prowler Vanguard?
It's possible. I think you got to be more wary of something coming down that's a little bigger.
Yeah.
There's only one
Oh, of
Ogre
course,
Conscript,
yeah.
though, in
I don't
know
think
that-
it matters so much because there's going to be an open position where the Rebel is. So he has to put it there anyways. And the Hand of God is going to save that creep, and then next turn it's going to attack the same creep again. And then it's going to have maybe Slay available at the time where that creep actually matters. So I think just stealing anything is going to be better because you can protect it with the Hand of God.
Yep.
Yeah. And hopefully it's going to be in front of Legion Commander. Well, for Mogwai's sake, that is.
Yeah, for the swap with the Bristleback, you mean?
I was just thinking of blocking 6 damage, but yeah, sure, that works too.
So this is just the
Interesting.
kind of proactive
Alright,
Rose
there's no
Lake
need
Druid.
to Hand to God here. He'll just wait.
Yeah.
Save it for later.
Yeah, if you do this play, you're probably not gonna use the ability from Shen either.
Ready for
Yeah.
war.
This is scary though, because now you can kind of get duel next turn versus this Shen. I mean, clearly we can see that Dane doesn't have a jewel in hand,
But
but
he could draw one.
could draw one, and Mogwai doesn't know if he has
Even
one
try to
or not.
hurt me now.
Doesn't cast it. I don't understand why he didn't cast it. God strength
So we have the
there.
Ravage here. It doesn't have a guaranteed stun. It only stuns PA. Hand of God is up, but it
And this
doesn't
is actually
do that
big
much.
because or he can and he can protect the Nevermore. But it's actually kind of a waste because he wanted to use it in the middle lane.
Yeah.
So I think he'll just let it die.
I mean, Ravage is such a long cooldown. It is very, very likely that this will only happen once a game. It's very rare you see 2 Ravages in a game
for
typically.
sure, yeah.
So that is pretty much the one use you're going to see there.
So when they're stunned, are they counted as blocked units? No, you can use the artillery still, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Just making sure.
But Tidehunter's doing what Tidehunter does. He's stalling out the right lane and kind of buying Dane more time. The problem is, if you're Dane, maybe you need a little more than time. Who do you guys think is favored here?
I really like Mogwai's position, but I would have preferred him to hold on to that Hand of God for the middle lane.
Same here,
Yes.
yeah.
But
I
it's
think he
okay.
could
Or at
have
least
got a-
waited for Dane to threaten his Nevermore.
I also think it would have been big if Dane played like God's strength on that Legion Commander, dealing 4 more and having the potential of duels
Duel.
as he drew
Duel is
drew
drawn.
now. Because he had mana to play both that and Kraken Shell if he wanted the priority in the last lane. So I don't know. I just felt like he didn't use his mana to cast Gold Strength, because Gold Strength doesn't. I mean, it doesn't get that much better because you're just gonna slap it on a hero and that hero will move on his own anyway. So might as well.
Here's the other Hand of God.
Yeah.
Mogwai
I
is
guess
drawing
he's
4 cards a
basically
turn.
guaranteed to get it at 4 cards a turn.
So we've got the duel off of initiative. This kills the Chen, denies not only Holy Persuasion, but Hand of God locking out of
Yeah,
green.
huge duel.
But Mogwai has the Spring, a very, very powerful card. Just bring the trap in place. Stall this lane harder.
Yeah, the game's going so slow. The Chen's gonna come back and Hand of God later.
Potentially
anyways.
just bring the trap left at this point, actually.
Okay.
Mogwai has still yet to lose a tower.
I think you want to just keep that card engine just feeding you.
Yep.
Oh, spicy.
Ooh, this is a little aggressive.
Yeah.
A little aggressive. Very aggressive.
You think this might be a little risky?
That is extremely.
That's
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't like this at all
I
because
guess he's
Bristleback
so-
doesn't have any spells to cast.
Yeah, I guess
Now
he
you
hasn't
have to
lost a
TP.
single tower, so.
Now you have to TP out one of your heroes.
It's a play that you usually see from someone who doesn't feel like they're in a controlling position. This is a risky play, maybe opens up a lose condition. If Dane can kind of muster up enough strength left and mid, then he can potentially race Mogwai's Centaurs right.
Yeah, you have to TP out here. I would have liked not to TP out the Bristleback though.
Yeah.
Because Bristleback isn't really casting any spells. Like there's no red cards in the hand.
So basically what's going to happen here is Mogwai, assuming that Dane doesn't do too much here, is going to kill this Ancient in 2 turns. Dane will have 2 turns to be able to kill Mogwai's tower on the left for the win, but Mogwai has 2 defenders, Debbie and Bristleback.
Yeah. Maybe Mogwai is favored here.
I do think Mogwai is still in a good position. I
Yeah.
mean, the 2 defenders coming in. It's going to be really hard for Dane to just end the game fast enough.
Yeah, maybe he actually has to put the Sun on the right side to try to protect this lane. It's gonna be hard, but you do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can, if the Sven coming down here can buy you an extra turn, if he can extend Dane's window to 3 turns instead of 2, maybe he's in a better position. But even then, the Chen's coming back with its active does not look too good for Dane.
Actually,
loses
God's
this, he's
Strength,
out.
pick a fight.
Do what
Okay.
I can.
He could shut down the Nevermore.
That's true.
Yeah, I would have liked that. I mean, we know there's a Slay, but I agree with that play. Maybe he actually tries to play pick a fight instead of shut it down. But it does have 2 extra armor from Treant, so won't even die actually.
Yeah. Oh, if he wait, he wants God's Strength.
With God's Strength, yeah.
Yeah, with God's Strength he should be enough. But yeah.
But he doesn't have mana for that.
Yeah.
Well, with, before the Seder. But yeah, it is a really unfortunate
Wait,
card
that pick a fight actually reduced a lot of damage. But yeah, not killing the Nevermore this turn is huge.
Yeah, I mean, Dane needs to be able to target this card down. And this is kind of what we were saying earlier about the weakness of red-green. It's very, very powerful, but it doesn't really interact with the opponent's board almost at all. I mean, you've got Intimidation and Duel, and that's basically it. So when the opponent drops something like a Disciple, very, very few answers to deal with it.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a board that's bigger than them to prevent them from dropping it.
Yep. But as soon as Mogwai kind of finds some weakness in Dane's strategy and his lane lineup, you can just go to a lane and abuse it.
Our victory is is inevitable.
Yeah, what he said.
Mogwai's blocking left, presumably. Dane, he could try to push left with Sven. He could try to block right with Sven. Either way, it's looking really bad for him. They need Disciple. Even then, it might only buy him an extra turn.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm calling it.
Yeah, Dane just has a little bit too defensive of a deck. I mean, you've got to have some kind of Hail Mary. You don't have Intimidation. You don't really have anything that can come back from a lost board state.
He's really missing those Thunder Hides to close out the game.
Yeah.
Relying on the mist only to get power.
Yeah, and one Ogre Conscript is just not enough. He has that Red Mist Pillager too, but that plan is kind of fragile as we saw.
Yep.
Alright.
Mogwai drawing some pretty good kind of stabilizers, some slowdown cards. Coup, even if anything were to happen, he can just shut down a hero with that.
So does the Hand of God in the last lane? How does it look like? Like, if he makes sure that nothing dies. No, yeah.
It actually is enough because Dane doesn't have any creeps.
Yeah, it depends really on the... Oh, he doesn't have any
Rebel
red
Decoy.
creeps?
But yeah, Rebel Decoy can't be played on the red.
Does Dane have any red creeps?
No.
Nope. That's going to be it.
I mean, in his deck.
I'm willing to die.
I mean, we can see what he has.
He does have
clearly.
Hellbearer and Bronze.
Okay, so he has... Is that it? Because he has a Slay also. I'm trying to figure out whether he should play Hand of
Yeah,
God
actually,
or
yeah, with the Slay and the Accent, well, he could afford one.
I mean, Mogwai
Yeah,
is just
exactly.
holding all the cards.
But
here.
yeah,
But if he has
Coup-
like 6 creeps in his deck, maybe he can play 2. Like, there's...
Yeah. And I
Those
think
are
that's all,
things you
all the
gotta think
arrows going
about.
into the heroes anyway, so Q is going to push a ton of damage.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't get to see how the arrows went. Can we look at the last lane again?
And Mogwai knows that, I mean, if nothing happens left that threatens him too much, he's just going to hold initiative.
Alright, so no real arrows going in the way. It's not so important to kill a hero here.
Yep.
He also has that artillery, so I think Hand of Godding seems nice.
Yeah, it's potentially just the safe play.
Yeah.
Can't drop Bronze Legionnaire anywhere, though. He does not need to. I mean, it seems like Dane just has no way to kind of punch through here. TP scroll.
Does he have Braces Sacrifice there?
Braces
what I
of
see?
Sacrifice, yes.
Wait. Can he do it? He can kill the Nevermore.
He can kill the
not if
Nevermore
you
if
Hand
the
of
Hand of
God.
God doesn't come
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mogwai has the initiative. He's got a few
Or he can
options
just
here.
Q once he sees the
You can also just
bracers.
pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand of
Right,
God
there we
comes
go.
in early.
I'll let this play is correct, so
Oh,
I think.
no.
At this point, I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing Dane can do. His entire hand is just proactive stuff. No creeps even to chump block. Mogwai taking it 2-0 will be
Congratulations.
against Yoel in the finals. Yoel, how are you feeling about your odds against Mogwai here with his deck?
I think it's more scary than Dane's deck.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't like all the... I think he has just a higher chance to raise me, because he has good heroes early game. That kind of beats mine most of the time. And if he gets a good flop and he gets an advantage early, he has all these Vandals and the Nevermores to kind of push that damage. If you saw my first round opponent, that wasn't really the same because they didn't have as many powerful creeps that weren't aggressive enough. So even if my hero died, it could come back and then win later on anyway. So that's kind of what I'm scared about against this deck, and we'll see how it plays out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is what it has all come down to at this point. Our boy, so far you are undefeated in this entire tournament.
Yeah.
7-0.
Broke the 7-0 curse.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's good.
At least we
Even
got
undefeated in games in the top 8.
Okay.
Wow.
Maybe we can
That's
keep that
very
up.
impressive.
Not gonna jinx it. Once more, I'm not gonna jinx
I
it.
feel like you might have just done it so.
No, he said not gonna.
No.
That cancels it out.
Cancels
Yeah,
it
it
out.
cancels it
That's
out.
true. That's true. Okay.
Schoolyard rules, you know. Gotta learn them.
So we are going to be going to a break one more time before we get to the finals here.
Yep.
And we'll be back in a few minutes.
See you in a bit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Artifact Premier Tournament. And we are here at the Grand Finals. I'm joined with Lumi, life coach in Savitz. And yeah, we're going to be having Heffaklumpen. I can't say his real name, but that's our boy Yol Larson. And then we have him against Mogwai, which we just witnessed the 2-0 for Mogwai with his green and red deck with that little splash in black, I believe.
Yep.
And yeah, let's take it to the couch. What do you guys think is the favored matchup here?
I mean, Joel has been so convincing throughout the tournament. 7-0 in Swiss, now 2-0. He has to be the favorite going into this.
Yeah, I side with Mogwai. I mean, his deck is really powerful, so yeah, let's see how it goes.
Okay. Both these players were able to coast through the top 8 with 0 games lost. So both are 2-0ing their way all the way to the grand final. Both look really strong. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this best of 3 is going to go.
That's right, yeah, and as far as win conditions go, we know that Yol is running a very aggressive deck where he has those double Sorlas and wants to just push to the tower as early as possible. What do you think Yol has to do here against this wall of red-green creeps in order to win these games?
I guess we're showing Yol's deck right now.
Yep.
Let's talk about why this deck is really strong. 2 Sorlicon, 6 Assault Ladders, pretty nice.
2 ganks as well, that's very powerful in taking out some of those squishier heroes.
Yeah, we saw him using it very well against Kuroki, kind of stranding a blue hero, taking out key blue hero. He's also got a couple of intimidations. It's really good to push key heroes away and just deal that final bit of damage. So I think this is a pretty straightforward deck.
Yeah, if you look at the mana costs there, he only has 1 card that costs more than 5. It's a very, very aggressive deck, and it would be quite good against a little bit slower deck from Mogwai with those hand-off cards at 7 mana, for example.
Yeah, let's actually take a look at Mogwai's deck, because I think his deck is a lot more interesting. His deck is running all 3 colors as well. So, yeah, what can Mogwai do? Because this is a 3-color deck. It does have some very powerful cards, though.
Yeah, looking through here, there are 2 Disciples of Nevermore, so there is a similar kind of strategy on Mogwai's end too, where he does want to have that open lane where he can get Debbie and his Bristle hitting that tower. Also, those 4 Oglodi Vandals. We've seen that Oglodi finish a couple times now, and it does show its power where, even though you have that wall, that Oglodi Vandal ignores it. Going through his items as well, there's that pesky Hourglass. We've also seen the effects of that. So if he manages to get his gold up and early, he can block Yol from using a lot of his key cards.
Yeah, those Disciple of Evermores, they're also always, every time you see that card, it's a key card in the lane. Of course, the cheap creature that gives, or cheap creep, that gives all the allied creatures +2 attack and -2 armor. If that leaves, it's so much pressure, so much damage very quickly. So whenever that card gets played, Joel has to be able to answer it immediately.
Yep.
Game is live, and so we're going to head in right now.
Game 1 on the way. And, well, Sorlicon not hitting the tower. Yol Larson is going to be your player on the top.
I was just speaking of the Disciple, and it looks like Mogwai drew both copies. We'll see if he can make good use out of those.
Yeah, already now in this lane. I mean, the Disciple is basically increasing the damage onto Solar by 2, which means Solar can probably be ganked even by a creep next turn if Heffa doesn't get an additional gold, or makes it possible to play the No Accident onto it next turn, and at the same time also deals 2 more additional damage from the Phantom Assassin. So I would be very surprised if you wouldn't see a Disciple here. Maybe even on the left side.
Yes, and I agree with the left side, because then you have that 25% chance of just taking out the Solar right now. But either way, it seems like it's a pretty good play here.
Very strong opening here for Mogwai, and
okay, interesting choice.
He might want it to have reacted or something too, but
I wonder if he's thinking about the fact that Yol Larson does have Debbie in his deck, and if you drop the Disciple, No Accident could easily answer it.
Yep,
so maybe that's why he didn't play it.
All right, and now looking at this lane, this is nice for Lycan over here, but unfortunately he's in front of a Bristle who's slowly going to chunk him down for that bonus armor. But with the Rebel Decoy, you can swap Lycan to safety, and it'll still give that buff to the rightmost creep here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he has to do it right now, but I mean, might as well, I suppose.
Yeah, really good thing that he put it on the right, so Lycan still giving that right melee creep and +2 attack, and was able to trade favorably.
Okay. Now, Mogwai can play the black hero into the middle because of the no accident. No accident is a card which deals 3 damage onto any target, and in this case he can gank the hero, which also saves himself his hero, which is very powerful.
Yep, initiative going to be a big deal here. We can see that Joel does not have a no accident at least yet. All green cards, wow.
That's a very awkward hand for Joel.
But if you're Mogwai here, you definitely want to
Mogwai.
hold on to the...
Okay.
I think he wanted to hold on to the initiative to make sure to kill off the... Yeah.
No accident onto Debbie. Unfortunately, no black cards for him to play here anyways.
Yeah. So if he was to play a card on the left lane, he actually would have gotten away with it and still been able to do the no accident. But
yeah, maybe still powerful,
still
because then he would have gotten the hero gank for free as well.
So
it would have definitely helped. So in the worst case, he would have had one hero against another.
Rebel Decoy swaps with Abaddon and now at least stays alive for one more turn. And that active is a one round cooldown, so it will be back up again in the next round.
Oh, this is a very nice play. As Vol Martyr dies, it buffs everybody on the side of Yo's board, so...
Yeah, very good blocker too.
Yeah, lots of damage already to the left tower here at 24 health now. Mogwai now has 10 gold. Unfortunately, Wingfall Hammer blocking his cheaper options, but he could pick up a Potion of Knowledge to draw some more cards.
This game seems to be going rather slowly for Yo Larson. Is that a sign of worry if you're cheering for him?
It was a bit of a rough start, maybe drawing only green cards. It has really limited his options. He's definitely hoping to pick up some black cards as well, to be able to play stuff on the first lane, for example.
Yeah. And normally when he's playing the green cards, it's things like Savage Wolf or Selfish Cleric, some really strong creeps that are, dealing a lot of damage. And he's not even casting those, so it doesn't seem like Yo Larson is having a good time here.
Yeah, especially with 6 Assault Ladders in your deck, you're hoping to see something. And unfortunately, we've got a curve to the right on, well, at least you do kill off the hero, but Mogwai has that Furline Mantle if he wants to save his PA.
Or you can just throw a creep in front of the Sorla too.
He's been holding to those creeps, not really casting.
Yeah. He's really valuing these disciples. What would you do here? Put a creep down or save the PA with an item?
I would go for a creep for sure. I mean, he should be playing his cards, so...
and if then it's the Uglodi, because...
Because you can save the item for later on. That is a plus 8 health.
Yeah, you can also threaten his hero at the same time,
yes,
so why not?
The creep has to be better.
Yes. And on top of that, you have 4 of these anyways. So we do see that Vandal come out. We do have some options to save Sorla, though, on Yoel's side. He could equip a Traveler's Cloak or fully heal Sorla.
I know how to use this.
Yeah, Traveler's Cloak seems to be alright, because a Fountain Plus is actually healing your hero to full HP, and full HP would have been only 4 life in this very instance, so he decides for the Mantle.
No tower is impregnable.
Okay, Assault Ladder is going to come down here on the middle lane, so for the moment being, it looks like that's going to be the first place that Yo is looking to make a big push.
Yeah, improvement cards, of course, can be cast across the lanes, so that was casted from the first lane.
Furline Mantle goes on to Debbie. So finally she has some survivable health, otherwise she's at 5.
How aggressively would you guys like to see, for example, Intimidation to be cast here?
Well,
for Yo Larson?
Well, probably not yet. I mean, Intimidation is a card which you want to deploy once it's clear which lane is very important, or maybe the last lane you're fighting for. So you want to keep on it until you know what's up, and then you use it for the very late game.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the time here, because he also had quite a good play with that Cleric available to him. So it wouldn't just be, if his options were Intimidation or nothing, then it would be maybe a consideration. But it definitely looks like it's better to hold it on.
We are going to see the Disciple come down, and that's going to trade with the Selfish Cleric. And trading with the Cleric is always nice, because whenever he survives, he just heals always back to full.
That is the first of his 2 disciples down, though.
Yep.
So you will have to keep that in mind for any tower push later on.
It was quite efficient.
Well, there's a good Reftel Convoy. The Reftel Convoy is a card which gives you half the attack of the gold you own, and that makes it the Reftel Convoy much better in the very last lane, because that is a lane where you already have collected gold from the first 2 lanes before he basically comes or does his action.
Looks like he's opting for the Bronze Legionnaire plus the Rumesk Blessing. Gives everybody in the lane +3 health, which makes it live against the 5-3. And of course, it also buffs your 2 hero along the way.
Yeah, Rumusk Blessing also can be cast across lanes, but he's likely to be looking to cast it on this lane in this situation.
Okay, Divine Intervention will protect Yol's side of board as well.
We walk the same path.
Again, this looks like a very slow game, and I think that just benefits Mogwai, who has, I think
so too.
Bigger deck and a stronger late game.
I think the 3 copies of Hand of God because of the Chen. That is the signature card of Chen. So when you have Chen in your deck, you will have 3 Hand of Gods. Hand of God 7 cost card that makes all of your units immune, all allies immune for the round, and heals them to full. So in a bit of a grindy match where some creatures are damaged and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of stuff on the lane, that is an absolutely crazy powerful card to be having in your hand.
So we're going to see the Treant from Mogwai go into the mid lane and Debbie into the right.
Oh, nice routing.
Yeah.
All right, Sorlakan finds a tower for the first time. Can he actually? Can she actually get a hit in?
Yep, and will she survive?
She could. Yo Larson could also think about ganking down the lane as well. Is there any good juicy gank target? That's maybe the Chen, perhaps.
Yeah. Chen, but it also costs the hero. Oh, probably what Larson can do is equipping the Assassin's Veil, then gank, and then also redirect to the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, that seems quite good.
Oh, just
he didn't go for that.
Suicidal gank. He did have ways to actually keep it alive, but opts to not. Okay.
Gonna kill the Debbie in the mid lane.
Interesting.
Instead.
Yeah, I don't assume this was a mistake. He definitely could have kept it alive if he wanted to.
Well, what I'm gathering from this is that he has another plan for the Assassin's Veil. I'm not sure what exactly he's going to do with it, but he clearly is saving it for something else.
Yeah. Maybe for the Debbie on the right lane to redirect her.
Yep.
On to Chen.
Okay. There's a really strong Reftel convoy here because the Reftel convoy is combating the black hero, and at the same time Reftel convoy is a card which has 20 health, and that's obviously I mean specifically blocking heroes. I mean the Reftel convoy can basically block Zola off for 3 entire turns, which is just crazy, saving 36 damage to the tower effectively.
Yeah. Very, very powerful card. It is a rare card, so it's one of those cards that are a little bit trickier to catch in some drafts. You don't see it all that often, but whenever you do have the opportunity to pick it, you probably should, at least if you're playing the if it supports the previous picks, if you have a lot green cards in your deck.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Now there's a pretty interesting choice.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah, he's going to go in front of the hero instead of the wolf. Could have killed either, but will block Sorla's 12. Of course, there is ability to swap with the Sorlakan, but we'll see if...
yeah, it doesn't actually save the, the hero, so it doesn't accomplish much.
Well, he can also heal or putting an Assassin's Veil.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Assassin's Veil is looking better.
I mean, just like Life Coach said, you don't want to be punching a 20 health wall for 3 turns straight, so get him to kill that quick creep, and maybe he could hit towers next turn.
Specifically with the Hand of God in Mogwai's hand as well, because if you hit the convoy 2 times, dealing 16 damage, and suddenly he's just healed up again, I mean, that's a very bad result.
Yep. Here, Mogwai has the option of perhaps throwing a Viscous Nasal Goo on one of these heroes, or maybe he's thinking of developing that Celemene's Favor. What does his late game look like?
The Celemene's Favor is an improvement that can be cast across the lanes, and it gives 2 mana. It's not that strong right here, because next turn he will already have 7 mana on all of the lanes. Looks like he's choosing to play it right here. But that card definitely loses some of its value in once the game progresses.
Yep. I believe Mogwai's probably identified this lane as the one that he definitely wants to win or at least contend, because this mid lane's looking pretty scary for Mogwai, but he's slowly doing that push with the PA and the Disciple on the left lane.
Here, gank is going to kill the green hero, which is pretty important considering that a Hand of God next turn here.
Yes,
will
absolutely.
Be pretty brutal. So I wonder if Yo Larson's going to heal the hero, or he's going to let him die.
Most likely he will heal it up, unless he has a plan to locate it somewhere else. But it seems quite good to keep it up here, because Bristle Pack doesn't have many tricks for the next round to be able to finish off the of the hero.
Yep. And no heroes coming in for either of our players for this turn, so board state is basically what we're seeing. I think Yol's probably hoping for some creeps to stall in this first lane and block some damage. Otherwise, 12 attack right now on that PA, and perhaps some creeps coming in from Mogwai's side is going to be pretty scary.
Yeah, it's also that every creep is directly combating the hero and threatening also the other minion, so that's very strong.
Due to the -2 armor from the Disciple of Nevermore.
Yep.
So, without seeing the deploy, who's winning right now in this game?
I think Joel is winning. I think that the middle lane and the right lane, I think he has a pretty good situation there. Like Mogwai has some powerful cards, like the Hand of God, but like this round in particular, with 2 heroes in the being dead for Mogwai, it's gonna favor Joel. I feel like that intimidation as well is going to be able to clear the path later.
Mogwai does have the option now of bringing the tower down with the Oaklody Vandal.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, maybe he's also worried about the mid lane. I mean, he needs to kind of cast the intimidation there, if possible, because his tower might be threatened over turns. I mean, I'm not sure whether it's worth to play Slay here, just to save your Disciple and then also lose. Yeah, but he does.
He's going to go for it.
But if he does, then he would also like to play the Vandal as well to get rid of the tower in this very turn.
Yeah. There are situations where you want to really hold on to the Slay, especially against green, but because he knows the deck list from Joel, and he knows that Joel doesn't have any big green creatures besides the Rose Leaf Rejuvenator, there's a good chance that he won't get a better one later.
Right.
The wolves are getting big though. There was a decent sized wolf in the mid lane, so that would have been a consideration, but he clearly wants to go for the 80.
I think, Mogwai is looking to set up with 2 heroes coming in the next round, perhaps pushing for that 80 in that first lane.
Yeah, that clearly seems to be the plan. Like that Slay right there that he used is a pretty sure sign that he is trying to go for it more or less.
Yep. Yol has the option to slay the reptile and also align Sorla's arrow to the tower for damage.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen. There's no way he wouldn't play it, right?
Well, the intimidation would have been really strong on the black hero to undermine the Slay.
Yeah, from Mogwai, but
right.
He seemed to not want to do that. Ooh.
But now he can. I mean, now it's really powerful.
I'm actually kind of curious about this. Why didn't he already play the Slay? There we go.
Saving it for last. And now I think Mogwai is going to be pretty forced to move the Sorla, I think.
That's a tough situation.
Now, where do you want this Sorla to go, though? Because if she goes into the last lane, there's not anything that Bristle can do to stop the tower here from popping.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, you will probably be able to protect the mid lane for sure. I mean, it's on 15 lives. So.
This was definitely a huge moment here, though. The intimidation would have been so much better before if he started with that. Yeah. So if Mogwai ends up losing this game, that was definitely like a moment that he might look back on like, oops.
Yeah, both players got really cute by equipping items and healing heroes, trying to bait out the other players to make the first move, and that exchange did not work well for Mogwai. Looks like it's going to be Yol Larson taking this tower pretty cleanly as well.
Yep. And at this point, do you think about intimidating to another lane?
I mean, he could like intimidate his own
exactly
own guy, but I don't think it's time for it just yet.
Not yet.
I think he's saving the intimidate to push away the Treant in the middle lane.
Yeah, that's probably even better.
Yeah.
Because especially if he gets to somehow like maintain initiative, or he needs to get the initiative. Excuse me.
Yeah, Mogwai can
that's not
put.
gonna happen.
I mean, what Mogwai can do is he can put Chen into the middle, and Chen is a hero who can control a creep, an opponent creep.
Yeah,
and there's a big wolf out of the board there, so he will be able to control that one, and that's very good.
Yeah, it's definitely a big moment.
I think Yol Larson may be forced to intimidate the Chen away, because I think if Chen takes the wolf, there goes the whole push. It's just too much of a swing.
Yeah, but Mogwai has initiative, so he can do that first.
Mogwai will always start by using it.
Yeah.
This is a pretty crucial round. I think it's getting pretty close, especially with that last lane too. Now that Sorla is there, there could be options for pushing for 80 there and racing against that first lane.
Right.
2 creeps spawning in for the left side for Yol Larson, which is critical because one of them can land in front of the Disciple. And if you kill the Disciple, well, it doesn't. at least it does trade with the 2 other creeps and softens up the push.
Yep, and now this push here in the first lane is only doing 4 damage.
No, that's not much.
So Mogwai has
Ooh.
2 Hand of Gods right now.
Mogwai can no accident, but he's going to just pass and keep initiative. He needs it to take the wolf.
Yep.
There's a Gen active ability, Holy Persuasion. It should be what he plays here first.
I think so.
It should
It
be.
really should.
He doesn't
It's really
start with
juicy,
that,
that's true.
Yeah.
If once he takes the wolf, it's going to be going into this slot facing Abaddon. So
There we go.
blocking
Takes the
some
wolf.
damage as well. And now I think Yol is thinking about what he can do here to perhaps get some damage. Do you think he's going to still intimidate for that 12 damage onto the tower?
I think Joel will use the intimidation to intimidate Bristleback off the right lane and try to go for a 2-turn.
Oh.
That's definitely also
That's
an
definitely
option.
a play, yeah.
It's pretty much guaranteed 2-turn there, because there's no heroes that will be getting deployed.
Right.
It's gonna-
No
no
accident.
accident.
Okay.
His dog, bad dog, for betraying me.
Oof.
But the Hand of God comes out, and now they're invulnerable.
Yeah, that didn't do much.
So Intimidate could push for 12, which will put Mogwai down at 3. If he wants to go for a very aggressive play. How many
Oh yeah, he
do
does.
it?
yeah.
Okay.
How many Vandal does Yo Larson have in his deck?
I believe he has 1.
So Ukulele
Nice.
Vandal, when you play it, it deals 4 damage.
Yep. And he saw all that.
Oh, he has the
mana used.
Assault Ladder, so that's 2 more.
Yeah.
Putting him at 1.
Yep.
Well, this game is pretty scary here. All of
It's
a
really
sudden,
close.
Yeah.
1 health here.
That's quite unlucky for Mogwai that the hero also went to the right lane. He would have really, really loved to have that hero on the left lane. Maybe he can go for tower damage here, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I-
tough. And this bristle is unfortunately killing this creep over here too.
I mean, he can musket
can
it.
musket it,
Yeah,
that
he
is
will.
true.
He probably will.
Hmm.
I mean, letting the musket for 10 damage, even for 12 damage, is very powerful here.
These are cream times.
Musket onto the tree.
do you
and-
Aphotic shield a creep to block the musket shot? Because it does give a unit +2 armor, which will block the shot.
If he does do that, Mogwai can just shoot the
Shoot the
hero.
hero?
shoot the
Yeah.
hero?
Mm.
Then also push for 6 damage. But Yol would be blocking 8 damage from the bristle though, which I think is pretty good.
It's going to pour it out Sorla Khan. This seems
Yeah,
like
to the middle.
a big mid push coming in.
Yep.
Oh yes, he's definitely going for the mid.
Especially since no heroes for Mogwai.
It was the moment he casted the intimidation. That was when he made the choice to go for the mid instead of the right lane.
Right. But now Joel also has to take care that he doesn't lose right lane. Because Mogwai needed to still contest the mid lane for also enough damage, or pushing the left lane, which was pretty nearly impossible, but now he only needs to contest the right lane as well to win.
Well, 1 creep spawns middle.
That was a very important
Yeah.
one.
So that
one creep right
that will
there.
block Sorla Khan. Again, the top deck of Uglodi Vando will be a lethal for Yo Larson. So
He got 1, yeah.
yeah. Is there a way for Mogwai to get lethal in the first lane? I don't think so, right? He's
Oh, wow.
yeah, he's scared.
No, but why? I mean, the hero on the left lane looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised by that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I mean, Mogwai already has the tower, so there's really nothing to block off there or to win from that play.
Spring the trap drawn from Mogwai.
Oh, there is an Oglodi, but
This was the
On the
other
wrong
different
side, wrong
player,
side.
yeah. All right. Still just a
Assassin's Veil.
trade.
Hmm. So, Potion of Knowledge draws the Unearthed Secrets, which at this point,
Yeah, not so good anymore.
not so great.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful improvement early on, giving you card advantage, but
Mhm.
in a current situation, it's
Yeah, let's talk about this
Not it.
deploy here more. You guys said you were surprised about Sorla here, so would you have preferred Sorla in the mid lane, where it's a bit wide?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, speaking about win conditions, I mean, Solo on the left lane doesn't do much, whereas in the mid lane he can delay that he dies, and at the same time can also push maybe for some damage.
That's also my thinking. It's just it's not that it would have been a game winning here in the middle lane either, but it just didn't seem to do anything at all on the left one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that there's necessarily 80 damage pressure coming in from the left lane.
Yeah, because now I think Mogwai has the ability to push the mid lane in 2 turns, down in 2 turns, and that would leave Heffaklumpen with 1 turn less to draw the Oglodi as a top deck.
Yeah. He does have the option to steal strength here to mitigate some of the damage.
Oh, there is no accidents against this.
Yep.
No accident will take out the Assassin's Apprentice.
I think Mogwai is being very careful to hold the Oglodi in his hand because a Slay on any of these creeps could represent lethal. And I think he wants a blocker in hand, or do you think he should be aggressive and just play it?
No, I think he is afraid that there might be a Slay or something coming down.
No, I think
and they're out, right? Yeah, they are already
there's
out.
no
more Slay.
slays, so he's...
But maybe intimidation. So I think that Mogwai won't play the Oglodi because of that thinking.
Yeah. Of course, Yo Larson doesn't have any of those, but
This will give me the edge I need.
Now spring the trap.
Yeah, he passes. That's correct. Yeah, Spring the Trap is super powerful.
Yeah.
He can even play that into the middle if he wants. I think that's even stronger.
there is a way for Yo Larson to force a kill on the Wolf by using either a Steel Strength.
Oh,
but
he
it looks
didn't
like
do it.
he's not going to go for it. Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Think
I'm
this
also
is
surprised.
great time to play Steel. Oh, okay. Since this Lycan's going to hit the tower, he
Want
wants
my
to
one card, yo.
draw that card.
Yeah.
And he still has enough mana anyway to play Spring the Trap, which I think is great over here in the mid lane.
Yeah, he will definitely play it in the mid lane because
Yeah.
he already played the Unearthed Secret, so that basically shows that he wants to have this in the mid.
It's looking rough here for Yo Larson.
He might just be down to top decking that Oglodi Vandal at this point.
Yeah.
Oglodi Vandal, of course, dealing that 4 damage to the opposing tower as it enters the battlefield.
Yeah, it's very unlikely though. I mean, Heffa has really
Yeah.
only 2 draws to get this one Oglodi Vandal from his deck.
Okay, using the Aphotic Shield to give +2 armor and +2 retaliate. Just enough to get a kill. That kill actually put him above from 8 gold to 13, which makes Red Miss Maul
yeah,
a draw.
that was what I was
Oh,
thinking.
yes.
Yeah.
Red Miss Maul,
Oh.
now it's +5 siege, and how siege works is if a unit's blocked, it'll still do 5 damage over the
Wow.
You know
Oh.
what? I wonder what Yol was thinking was probably like just getting those hero kills and getting enough gold to perhaps get to his Red Miss Maul.
Yeah, he put Sorla on the first lane to trade with the PA, right? Remember?
He knows his win condition. As long as he has that siege, he can just break through without having to wait
Yeah,
for the
that
top
might have
deck.
just been it. Like he knew he had it, so he
Mhm.
went for the gold, and that was the reason he deployed.
That is amazing. I was about to ask
Yeah.
too what you guys thought of these hero kills. 'Cause killing Bristle seems to not really do anything. But
I mean, Mogwai could have just prevented that by just deploying a cloak.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
he could have just undermined the 5 gold.
Well, Mogwai can still go for a draw if he's presenting lethal, and somehow Yo Larson can't, deal with that.
Yeah, that pick off could kill off the. Well, what was the name of that hero?
Debbie?
Debbie,
Debbie,
yeah.
Oh, he goes for...
Well, that's gonna be
Wow.
game then.
yep,
Yep.
that's game. And actually, looking at his item deck now, he didn't even have the mole. So
Oh, he
Just
didn't.
luck
Okay.
of the secret shop there.
We also don't know if he held it from a previous turn. Maybe
That's
that's why
true.
he's playing aggressively to kill heroes.
Yeah, we're sadly unable to see his secret shop status, but we'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
I could have just...
I guess we could have counted the goal, right? If he
Yeah.
went down by 1 goal, then we know he held an item. Maybe he's super smart, maybe he's super lucky, but he is about to take game 1.
There
There
it
you go.
is.
That's rough for Mogwai. He played this game really well.
Red Miss Small. Mogwai's just pulling at his hair now. That 5 damage is going to go through despite the wolf being damage immune.
I'm ready to prove my
And
Mogwai's.
he's 1 short of
Ooh.
going draw as well.
Yeah, but
well, I mean, there's...
with the no
there's-
accident,
Yeah.
that's going to take care of that. And that's our game 1.
Yeah, Red Miss Maul does it again. I really like this item.
Yeah,
It just-
that was incredible turnaround. I really wonder where it came from, if it was just luck or if he held on to it. That was amazing.
Yeah.
What a comeback. And so I don't know if Yule's going to come by, but if he might just
No,
be
he's-
jumping
he's
and
just
just
getting
straight
water.
into his
Yeah.
his game right away. But what did you guys think? Was that winnable without the maul?
Yeah, it's very tough to evaluate. I don't really know. Maybe he should have went for the right lane. I actually like the play the life coach also suggested, maybe with the intimidation and just put the 2-turn clock on, because there were no heroes at the fountain in that moment, so it would have been almost impossible to stop. Maybe there was some kind of double creep on the right lane or so, but I think Joel might have had an easier time if he went over that intimidation line to try to push the third lane instead.
Right. Yeah. I also think that Mogwai's early game slipped a little bit away when he didn't when he decided against playing these disciples for tremendous amounts of value, and I guess this was also where he fall behind. And yeah. So, but let's see what they will
jump
do
right
now.
into second game.
Yep, game 2 online. Looks like both black heroes are trading. This is one of the nice thing about Debbie as a basic hero. Actually trades with a lot of actual real heroes. So, thanks to Work the Knife. +2 damage when you're attacking heroes or buildings.
So hero kill in the first lane. Lycans dodge the bristle back.
So far, Bristle has not had much luck when it hit heroes, but
Bristle really wants to get those arrows into the enemy heroes. Bristle tends to fall off a little bit in the late game.
Accident.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if he had to play the Disciple, then he will lose Sorlakan as well.
That's
so.
right. Sometimes it's even the better play to wait one turn with the no accident, because you know that his opponent is at 2 life, so you can even force the hero to sit out one turn longer, and that might buy you a lot of leverage as well.
Yeah, there is the risk though that there would be like a healing potion or maybe cloak to save it.
Right.
And Mogwai did show that he does have Rumesk Blessing, which might have interfered with that plan as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep. And perhaps Yol also wants to have some options with his mana with this turn as well. He has a Disciple in hand.
Yeah.
And if Debbie doesn't go into this lane, it could be a great turn to start dealing damage to the Slash Tower.
Oh, if Mogwai would have played Debbie on the left lane, he would have had a clear gank on the Abaddon.
Yeah.
So, because Debbie deals 2 more damage to heroes, which means 9-5 is the perfect answer against 4-9, and Abaddon heals only after 1 turn. So, that would have been amazing.
And now without a black hero in the first lane, I think Yol Larsen feels very comfortable to develop the Savage Wolf, which he knows will grow to a 4-5.
Right.
Yep. Seems pretty good.
Yep. Some creeps drawn from Mogwai, which will be handy later for blocking all of these wolves, but Abaddon's going to finish off this creep here so that 2 more damage can push through and also put down the Savage Wolf.
I mean, Savage Wolf is not such a big threat because Mogwai does have the Chen, and Chen is dealing an enemy creep after 4 turns, which means he can let the Savage Wolf grow big, and then he can take it. So that's kind of the natural answer to that.
Yeah.
Oh, good boy. Saving his daddy.
He keeps initiative, okay.
Yeah, he wants really to hip fire this and get the Sorlakan out of the way.
Yep.
Deals 9 in the process.
And now 3 heroes coming out for Mogwai here.
Ooh, that's a
Yol.
teleport scroll as well. That's a great card to have because you know there are 2 intimidates in your opponent's deck, and that could really get your heroes out of position. But he's opting for a better HP item instead.
Yeah, this is a crucial hero deployment for Mogwai right now.
Yeah, I think Chen has to be on the left, that's clear. And okay, so he decides in this way.
When you keep your scroll in the shop, do you always tend to buy it?
Yeah, I tend
almost every
Almost every time.
Like 90% of the time, maybe.
Well, I think it depends very much on the game state. So in the very early game, you definitely don't like to buy it because it's 3 gold and you will definitely not use it. But in the late game, it's very important that you are able to shift lanes with your heroes. So I would say if you are at mana 6+, you probably buy it. If you are at mana 5 or 5 or 3, you probably don't.
I oftentimes even buy it earlier just to be sure, because you can't know if you'll find one later. So
right.
I tend to, but I might buy it even too often. Maybe that's that's just my thing. Like I find it very difficult to pass.
You just always feel a little safer when you have a teleport scroll. You know?
Right.
It's your get out free card.
Yeah.
If you are limited on gold and you already know that you're going to need something like a cloak maybe on one of your heroes, it can make sense in some situations to pick the cloak first. But TP scroll for sure hard to pass up.
It seems like a tough turn here for Mogwai. There's a lot of options. He could go for mana ramp,
This will
Or
help
he
me
could
a
go
little.
slay the wolf. But it looks like both teams are, or both players are just going to be opting to, again, passing the turn back and forth a little bit to wait to see what the other player does.
Yep, both the cloak and the Abaddon ability. Not like super necessary right now, but like you said, they just wanted to see what the other person does first.
Mogwai could have also opted in to deploy the Fur-lined Mantle because as things stands, he knows that the Abaddon will deal 2 times 6 damage to the Phantom Assassin, and if this happens, that's exactly 12. So by deploying his Mantle, he gives Heffa exactly the option to kill the Phantom Assassin exactly, which is probably a suboptimal result.
Now Yol does have Slay here. Mogwai passed the initiative, which could be dangerous because if Yol decides to, he can enter the combat phase right now. But he's thinking about maybe if he wants to slay this creep to push for 11 damage to the tower with Debbie and this creep, or just put down a Savage Wolf.
Ooh, and that's
that's
the downside of going
Yep.
first here.
No Mogwai can play this.
Oh, okay. Mogwai decides not to, no accident, that Savage Wolf.
So
Decides
he-
to have initiative here.
Yeah, he clearly wanted the initiative then.
And to play a Fur-lined Mantle in the second line.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Because he was
Is
worried
there-
for his bristle then.
Yeah, so this bristle was at 3 health, so he was probably scared of a no accident coming from Yol as well. So he wanted to equip that mantle to save him.
Yeah, that's a lot for the Chen now. If the Chen was somehow removed from the first lane, those wolves are going to be very devastating.
It's still 2 more turns until Chen's ability gets active, so that Chen needs to survive for a while.
Yep. And keeping the Fur-lined Mantle on Bristle, I suppose Mogwai just wanted to make sure he was able to play these cheap blockers in case there is a Disciple coming out or some other creep that's threatening.
Seems like a pretty good slay target here.
Yep, considering there are a lot of creeps in this deck.
Yeah,
but
you really don't want that to stay there.
yeah, it's very annoying, and especially with the Treant Protector,
Yeah.
that armor is just frustrating.
The Stonehole Elite, of course, getting a +2 attack and +2 health every time it kills a creep. So it would have effectively already been a 6-4 if it stayed on the board, because it would have killed that creep.
This turn has looked really bad for Mogwai so far.
Yeah.
I think he has fallen quite behind.
Debbie's still pushing on that tower in the last lane, but I think these other 2 lanes look pretty good for Yol so far.
Yeah, Sorlakan will be coming in. It's not exactly too clear where he's going to play that, though. Will you guys deploy him left?
Yeah, looks like it.
Seems like it.
The board is wide enough that Sorla can just reliably go into this slot.
Or not.
But that creep coming in just says no.
And the arrow, too, going on to PA, who's going to be tanking in quite a bit. I do think the most important kill here is actually the Chen
Oh,
kill,
there's a
though.
good Kra.
Yeah, that Chen, you don't want him taking your wolves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards here. A lot of options available.
Yep. Mogwai could decide to coup de grace, I always forget that, onto the Abaddon and prevent Yol from playing any green cards. He does have those 4 Rebel decoys, and so if he wanted to, he could add a Rebel decoy here and swap Sorla out to hit the tower.
It doesn't save PA, though. That is, I think it's the issue with that play.
It's true.
Now it looks like we're going to see a Roseleaf Druid come down.
Yep. And the 1 extra mana he gains from that allows him to still use something like the Slay, which is probably land here.
Yeah,
So
you probably slay the wolf in front of Chen.
Either that or the no accident. That would also get the job done on the smaller
That's
wolf.
true.
Or you could just slay the bigger wolf and have your Chen trade with a smaller wolf. So you're essentially dealing with the wolf problem.
You don't want to trade. Yeah, I think you want to save the Chen, because then you can grab the bigger wolf.
Okay,
the left
yeah,
wolf.
that's definitely fair.
Yeah, so no accident on the right wolf lets him save the Chen and steal that next turn. So that's going to be a big moment potentially next turn. Here the Rebel decoy. Could that help Joel kill the Chen now?
Yes, he can. He could put the Sorlakan in front of it, right?
Yep. But we do have a healing salve in the hand of Mogwai.
Or you could put Debbie in front of it. Debbie even does more. Debbie does 9.
That's true.
Yeah, so maybe he could go for the Debbie then, just to like kind of make sure On the other hand, though, he could kind of technically save the Abaddon here by trading that or swapping that. But he does know that Mogwai has 2 items in the hand right now, so one of those is very likely to be either a healing salve or a cloak.
Yeah, Mogwai passes to see where this swap is going to go.
Another thing to note is that there is the gun available on the Abaddon,
Yeah.
so he will be able to.
There should be more than
damage.
enough damage.
Yeah.
And if Yol Larsen needed even more damage, he also has Disciple of Nevermore to give a quick +2 in hand. So Chen is not long for life.
Yeah. Really thinking through what to swap that decoy with, and looks like he's going for the Debbie here.
Yep.
And now Mogwai has the option to heal Chen back up to 9.
Which wouldn't be enough.
Which would not be enough, so there's no point on doing it. So equips the short sword instead.
To get a trade.
To get a trade. So here, do you think Disciple is worth it at all?
I think he loses more creeps to Disciple.
I think he loses that Rebel decoy.
Yeah.
Maybe assault ladders to the middle lane, or
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Yeah, looks like he does too. Getting that extra damage to the tower.
Healing Salve's PA. Unfortunately, no way for Yol now to save the Abaddon.
Life coach, what's your read on the game so far? Seems like both players are going back and forth.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I guess Mogwai has his hands full in the defense at the very moment, but at the same time he has also quite a lot of powerful cards still in his hand. So yeah, maybe if Chen comes back, I mean the hero who controls other creeps, maybe he can control a big creep and might shift the game into his favor by doing so.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now as well. Like Joel is definitely has the upper hand, but maybe there are, especially those like there's already we see coup de grace and intimidation, but there are also those hand of God, was it?
Yeah,
there's
hand
also
of God,
those somewhere in Mogwai's deck. So
I have also kind of the feeling that Mogwai is not playing his cards that proactive, so that's also one of the reasons why he ends up with a lot of cards in his hand. And while the cards in the hand are not doing that much if they are not being played, so maybe he might be a little bit too conservative with the usage of cards as well.
we saw that kind of in the first game as well.
Right.
He was doing that in multiple instances.
Yeah.
Yol's going to go ahead and use Divine Intervention to save his Lycan.
Yep, makes sense.
I was surprised that the creep did not go in front of Sorla Khan, and then you could follow that up with a Nazogu to deal the 6. Obviously, it would not have worked because of the
Divine Intervention.
Divine Intervention, but you would block 12 damage, or 14 damage rather, coming in from Sorla.
Right, you could have tried it, yeah, that's true. You would have blocked off like 8 more damage doing so.
Exactly. And 20 is a lot.
Yeah, that seems like it might have been slightly better. Also, just holding on to the goo, there doesn't seem to be all that much value in holding on to it.
Mogwai keeps initiative. So in this first lane, he does have a coup ready.
Yep.
So if he wanted to, he could kill Sorla, in which I think he might have to because this tower right now is taking 17.
Yeah.
We'll see how the creeps are deployed. Oh, two creeps here.
And we have also to say if there are like suboptimal plays from players, it's I wouldn't say that it comes with such a surprise because I mean Mogwai played all 7 matches yesterday the entire day, and also today he went already through the quarter and the semi-finals, and that also takes its toll exhaustion-wise. Yeah, so while you're still very awake and can focus on all these micro things as well, the longer the hours, the more the exhaustion. I mean, you can definitely feel it at some point.
I'm always somewhat afraid to call suboptimal plays because I find that players are also thinking about certain things that we are not thinking of. So they might be seeing, they might be expecting a different top deck, or
or they're indexing hard on some card and playing around it.
Right. Well, the creeps coming in the left side is really nice for Mogwai. And critically, let's not forget that Chen is coming back in 1 turn, and there's a juicy wolf that you can steal.
All right, there we go. Some big ups there.
Yep.
Mogwai can also coup de grace. Yeah, exactly.
They lose a sleigh though, but
Yeah, but at the same time,
That's
you
fine.
undermine the opponent's plays for an
sure,
entire
yeah.
turn. I mean, that's really, really powerful.
He will have the. He also the sleigh. If it was for the wolf, there's the Chen coming on
yeah,
next.
he wants
turn,
he
so
wants the wolf.
You almost want to keep it alive for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Just to get it to yourself.
He could now finish the off the rebel decoy with a musket. Yeah, that's exactly his way of thinking.
Push 2 more damage. Even though right now Yo Larson is at 40, once you take that wolf, damage is going to come by quite fast.
Oh yes. I mean, it's also that Yol already dealt 20 damage to the left tower, so if can Mogwai stabilize that tower now, I mean, that would be a very good result for him.
Okay, Yo Larson is going to say, I don't care about the arrow, as he kills the creep, and Sorla is now going face.
Yep, and the only thing that Bristle can play in this lane is the Viscous Nasal Goo, which isn't going to stop the 20 damage to the tower.
Like the Bristle late game.
Right.
Bristleback is, in my opinion, it's one of the heroes that when you first start playing Artifact, you feel like, oh, it's so powerful, especially early on when if you get a hero kill or so. But it really tends to fall off in the late because the red spells are just kind of not that powerful, and
Yeah.
it's tough to get good use out of it. The black spells are so much better.
Yep, and looking at this now, there are 3 heroes now coming out for Yol next lane since he TP'd out that Lycan. And having taken this mid, it's going to be a fight for one of these lanes, most likely the left.
I would expect Mogwai, even though the Hand of God, he does have a pair of those, he could use it, but I would expect him to hold on to the initiative to,
Yeah, he does.
get the Chen steal on the wolf. I think he's going for that with the initiative. So there's no intimidation on the Chen, for example,
Exactly.
before the
Yeah.
steal.
Right, but now Yol might even also opt in, maybe even going for the right lane, or maybe doubling up on the middle lane, so he has all the options. But yeah, that because he also knows that Chen has to go to the left,
Yeah.
so that's interesting.
In one of the earlier quarterfinal games, we also saw him deploy all 4 hero in one lane and go
Right.
for 80 too.
Yeah, he does.
Yes,
Mm.
but
He
looks
is
like
going
goes
for the
into the
right
right.
lane, and I have to say I like it.
Mm-hmm.
The battling.
Oh, or
yeah.
not. Oh, thinks about it.
He's still
Mixing them
thinking
up.
about it. It's a
Yeah.
tough decision.
But he should not split them, right? I mean, it's rather, all left, all right.
He does have Disciple and Assault Ladders in hand, so
Yeah.
there's some place he can go where he
Okay.
can hit the tower.
He is going to fight for the left lane.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's going to work out. Because there are those Hand of Gods and the
Right.
steal.
Well, one.
Joe Larson needs to top deck something like an intimidation here.
Yeah.
So it-
Oh,
that
he
is-
has it! All right, it is intimidation.
that is definitely the card.
So you have to start with
With
stealing the creep,
Yeah.
right? Like,
you
there's
need
no
to
other.
steal first, yes. But then the intimidation is going to come down, and the
Yeah.
green hero will be banished from this lane. That was a huge draw for Joe.
Yeah, that's
Joe.
insane.
Yeah. Well, are you sure it is going to be green? Because black also represents coup de grace and maybe slays or other creeps that you could play. I'm not entirely sure if it's 100% green.
I mean, because there's 3 copies of Hand of God, and it would be so powerful here. So,
That's true,
So
yeah.
I think just due to the sheer amount of those potential green powerful spells, I think that's it. Because I think coup de grace, for example, it wouldn't be as bad. Because you have 3 heroes here, so losing.
he passes.
He passes.
He's
No,
just going to
what?
intimidate Chen away.
No, he can just shoot
okay,
this
he
now.
can
Shoot!
this.
Yeah.
Now we're in the same spot. Like this is
What?
worse. Like
Okay.
What's happening?
Did
Oh
he
my
forget
God.
that the Chen?
I don't.
That was really
that was.
N-
Oh,
oh,
no.
no.
But we can call this suboptimal, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we can call
All right,
that.
we could call that one suboptimal. All right.
Oh, I wonder what's the face cam on Yol right now.
Is that
He's
lethal?
just-
Yeah, that's
That's lethal.
Okay, well that was
Oh my
instant.
goodness!
That was
We're
instant
seeing
punish.
our
That
our
was,
champion in the making right here. What?
He looks at camera. He's like, yeah, that's a good game.
I have no words.
Yeah, that was fast,
yeah.
quick and fast.
Quick
Oh,
and,
maybe
quick and fast.
maybe he misclicks on the button or
Yeah, I
timed
think
out.
so. It has to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
It had to be a
could
timeout
time.
or
Probably, yeah. I guess
Yeah,
so too.
that's rough.
because it seemed like on the third lane he was kind of planning with the initiative because he had playable cards there too with multiple
Right.
Hand of God, so he
Right.
clearly wanted the initiative, so it had to be a timeout or so.
Yep.
Let's get
And
Joel
let's-
in here.
Let's get Yol in here. Oh my goodness.
Joel.
Yo Larson,
Yeah.
smiling. Congrats, dude.
Swept through the tournament. Let's hear. All right, there's a lot of points we have to talk about here, right?
All right, give
All
them
right.
to me.
So,
All right, I want to talk about that final turn.
yes. First, let's.
That was hard.
What did you think was going to happen in terms of Mogwai's place?
Well, for sure Shen was going to the left because there was a Savage Wolf there, and because of that, I thought about maybe I should go all to the right side. But then I didn't get many creeps there, and also there's another issue where Bristleback is in the middle, so Bristleback gets another turn to kill that tower. Can also impact it with Spring the Trap.
Sure.
But I realized that I have the musket and I have the potential for removal or intimidation for the Shen. So my opponent will have to choose between saving the Phantom Assassin or using the ability from Shen.
I see.
Mm.
And you're okay with either way, essentially.
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to win the lane probably after that. So I think that gives me the best shot. And then my opponent just passed. And I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
were
I'm like, okay,
theorizing
that's
maybe
nice.
time
Okay.
out.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like maybe it works the same way if I musket and then he charms.
Mhm.
Maybe he just wants a better position of his wolf or whatever. But then my opponent casts Hand of God. And then it was just lethal. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out well. All right.
It turned out right.
It turned
Yeah,
out
it turned
right.
out
It was
right.
Just won
okay,
the
just
tournament.
won,
Yeah.
you know. And not dropping a game, is that right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
right.
Not
Yeah.
dropping a single game.
The first game was nice though. Did you see
Yes.
that holding the red miss mall?
Yes.
And then I had
Okay,
to
so
Oh, you held it.
that's
You held
what
it.
we- That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
wanted
Okay,
to ask.
we were saying, is he just really good or really lucky? And
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I held it, and then I had to vaguely use my resources to get up to 10 gold.
Yes, so
Without
you
spending
deployed
too much.
Sorla on the first lane,
Yeah.
traded a hero very innocuously. I'm defending my tower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
I
then-
don't want you to push 80 here,
Yeah.
you know. And then you kind of have to get Bristleback too, which was, clearly hard with the Photic shit. Like, my opponent had an item, but they thought it was more important with initiative, and then the
Alright.
mall kind of just got it out there.
So we couldn't use this cardboard cutout because it
But,
has all the white
Oh,
stuff. But
yeah.
this is
It's very
this lady's-
applicable
there you
now.
go.
This lady's a bay. This
This
lady's
is
a
bae.
Yeah, she's done a lot of work.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So
that was great.
on top of that, then we were also saying like, oh, why is Yul going into the first lane and killing that PA? Why
Yeah.
is he killing the Bristleback? Was that just to get the gold to get them all
In the first game.
in the first
In
game?
the first
In
Yes.
the first game,
Mhm.
yes. Because everything was kind of blocking up, and my opponent started to get a lot of mana, and pressure was definitely on. Like, my opponent would kill the mid tower in like 2 turns, so I had to get it that turn, like almost for sure.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really use the steel strength because that they probably have lethal in the mid lane. So there was like so many things that was going on, and it turned out all right. I barely squeaked that through. I felt like.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was 1 health.
But then you gotta give it to my opponents that when you play against double Sorla and the potential to just kill a lane out of nowhere, it's almost impossible to deploy your heroes correctly. Like I kind of had the advantage in every deployment phase, and like if my opponent places it in the right spot, then we'll fight for it. If they place in the wrong place, you just lose like instantly. So that's kind of big, clearly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that was cool.
what's next for Yo Larson? You gave up the chance to play in the Pro Tour to play in this event.
Well, it turned out all right.
It turned out fine. So
Yeah.
what's the next for you? Is it more Magic? Is it more Artifact or half and half?
No, it's gonna be more Artifact for me. I also started studying, so I can't really do all of them,
Mm.
and also have a social life and similar things like that. So I've done Magic for a long time, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna get out of it. I'm not gonna like abstain from all Magic in my entire life. But I haven't missed a Pro Tour in 7 years in Magic, and at some point you gotta feel, okay, maybe I've done that now, and I can miss one to try other things. And now with Artifact being so fun and fresh, and the games are so fun to play, I just kind of want to give it a chance to see what happens, and it's been fun so far.
It also helps when you win a tournament.
It
you
does,
missed-
You know, or two,
Yeah,
you
or
know.
two,
Or
yeah.
two, yeah.
This is your second draft tournament that you won.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
What's your feelings between them? Like, do you feel like you've improved or?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
I really think so. Yeah. I the thing with Artifact is it surprises you so much how many levels there are. Like at first you think like, okay, we have this down and this meta game is here, blah blah blah, and then you like realize something, that a card is good or like a strategy is good, and then everything becomes way more complex all of a sudden. And if that strategy is good, that can be applied in other places, or this way of just playing the game is a thing, and that enables strategies. Like with the deployment phase with Sorla. Like
Yeah.
that deck isn't good if you're trying to fight Pharaoh all the time, but if you kind of figure out how, if you get a lot better at avoiding your opposing heroes or like deploying them in the correct position and kind of pressure your opponent that way, that strategy actually becomes a strategy all of a sudden. So the more you understand the game, the more you understand how to build decks, how to draft them, and yeah, so that's cool. For sure.
Pretty cool. 2 first place wins on the build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sweet. Sweet.
I wanted to ask if there's any plans for you to stream some. I'm sure a lot of people would love to learn from you.
Oh, yeah, I've been definitely thinking about it. I just need to fix the technical part. I'm so bad at that. So to fix the stream. So for everybody out there, if you want to help me build my stream, just
I'm
putting
sure
it out there.
Plenty of people could start
Yeah.
reaching out to Yoel now.
yeah. So that's gonna be a plan. Maybe I can find a sponsor like you have.
Oh, this is the time to shout out.
Time
whatever,
to
you
sell
know.
out. No, but seriously, I mean, all those things are kind of complicated, and me coming from Magic is quite different. I mean, it's not really an esport. Sponsorships works very differently with content creation, etc.
Sure,
being the
yeah.
main thing, and it's kind of a new world I'm getting into. So all kind of tips and everything like that will make this transition easier. I would be super happy to have them. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I say that you started off in this new world with the right first step, winning the tournament.
Yeah, it would have been super awkward if I went there and went like 0-4. Right?
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
oh my god, what have I done?
One
Missing
and
a
done,
pro
yeah.
tour for this?
Yeah.
Oh lord, you know, that'd be sad.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Any final words before we
I guess we're
just play
Yeah, those are
Artifact.
things-
I'll see
yeah.
you next
play
weekend.
Artifact? Okay, well,
Yeah.
play Artifact next week. It's going to happen. Of course, Yoel Larson will be at the Artifact house party.
the Partifact.
For
Partifact, Arta Party. We're trying to debate what the name is going to be.
Yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
done for now.
Mhm.
Thank you guys so much for watching this event. And, of course, all of the beautiful players and talents that are involved in the event, of course, as well as our production team. They've been here the whole time, making
Yeah, good
absolutely
job.
zero mistakes. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
And we're done for now. Of course, if you miss any of the games as well as the tutorial, you can find it on our YouTube channel or on the Twitch or Steam TV. Wherever you get your content, I'm sure you'll find
That's
find
right.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it.
And,
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, tune in on November 17th and 19th for the Partifact, or whatever it's called.
Arta Party. All right.
Arta Party. All right, thanks everyone.
Bye.